should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better.
This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Hello, everybody. Hello, my speculating family. Hey, Cara and Joy and Shaboogies and Alex and Bad Girl, Indie Girl, Sarah and my passenger, Jenny Jen, Edith, Sub Rosa, Miss Kimmy, Alex again, Cajun Juju. I'm so sorry about what you said. I hate that happened to you. Hey, Hio and Bad Girl. If you need to talk to somebody, let me know. You can email me. Jeannie B, good to see you. Cara, see you again. Manda, good to see you. Rubber Ramada, good to see you. Rachel, good to see you. Andrea. Oh, I'm glad you were gifted a membership. Jeannie B. It's good to see y'all on this Friday. So, hey, Joseph. Hey, Meemaw. Hey, Thomas, Matilda. Good to see y'all. I'm so glad that y'all were able to make it here today. I know who killed you. Hey, good to see you. I'm going to pull up my channel. So last night I put out a video. I actually put out this video twice. I had to basically upload the audio file, so I just threw it on the end of another video that I had made, and I didn't realize that I had uploaded that one to the YouTube. I spent a long time making the one we're going to watch, so I don't know. Some of you might have seen this one, some of you might not. I was in a playful mood last night, so I was kind of picking a little bit. I hope nobody took offense to it. I tried to make it, it's going to sound bad. I was trying to be kind of funny about it because it's such a tough subject, so I was just kind of picking on Stefan a little bit. But that's really not what is important.
Press 1 for English. Oprima el 2.
Hold on. What's important is the information we're about to get from here, because he says some things that makes me feel like he's about to flip on Jen. He says some things that I'm like, oh my God, Jen ought to be shaking in her little bedroom slippers. Yes, Toxic Orchid is in the hospital, so please keep her in your prayers along with Cajun Juju, and anybody else that needs some prayers. Please drop that in the chat so our family can pray for you. Hio said, keep Toxic Orchid in your thoughts today as well. She's in the hospital, and we hope to have her back pretty soon. Thank you for that. Hey, Anders. All right, so we're going to go over this phone call, and I'm just going to play it from the beginning. And we're going to talk about some things that are said, because I want to know what y'all think about this. I have some questions.
The time is 2:01 p.m. If you believe that you are the victim of sexual or physical abuse, press star 9021 after this message. Press 1 to place a call. Press 2 to enroll. Press 4 for the message system. Please enter your PIN number followed by the pound sign. After the tone, please say United States of America.
I'm just playing this because I put in the little extra things just to kind of try to make it fun, a little bit more interesting to watch this first part. Sub Rosa said something I think we're all wondering. She said, quote, I didn't start it. So who started it then? The 8-year-old girl? Or is that just what Stefan has been telling his parents his whole life? I definitely have questions. Oh my goodness, are you okay? Come here, you can get into bed. What scared you?
United States of America.
Did you get scared? I got you.
You have one old message.
Oh, did you kill
To
the
listen
spider?
to your messages, please return to the main
Okay.
menu. Press 0 to make a prepaid collect call or speak.
Basil just come running through the house. Evidently, a spider crawled across the floor and scared the crap out of him. So he's in here with me now on the bed. Mimont, honey, my channel is for everybody to say it's allegedly speculating because we're all speculating. I want to hear everybody's thoughts, opinions, and speculations. So you share that, and if anybody attacks you, I'll get them. I don't think anybody here would, though. Everybody's really open to everybody's thoughts. Joyce said I have a lot of questions for him that I would like a convict to ask him in person. I do too. Hey Annie. Hey Occasionally Classy.
Speed dial call. Press 1 to make a debit call. Press 8 for calls within the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean. Please enter the area code, prefix, and number. To make an international call, please enter 011, the country code. Your account balance is $40.13. The
Occasionally Classy, that might have been what did it. Stefan's voice might have scared that Basil that bad that he come running.
cost of this call will be 21 cents for the first minute and 21 cents for each additional minute, excluding taxes and other applicable fees. The time limit is 15 minutes.
Press 0 to continue or
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephen Stearns.
inmate at
Osceola County Corrections Department.
To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hey Rachel, you're not late. You're just on time.
Hey,
Where the hell you been?
I've been trying to call. They've had us on lockdown.
Sir, I think he's been in the county jail at Osceola County Corrections Department. That's where I think he's been.
So often. Every time I've asked him, we've been on a Code 5 lockdown.
Okay.
Which means I've been unable to call. I've been trying to call all weekend, too.
The dad's just like, okay. Edith, thank you so much for being supportive and gifting a membership. That was super sweet of you. Thank you so much for that. You're awesome. Thank you for being so supportive. I'll play our clip real quick. Thank you, Edith. That was super sweet of you.
So you've been on lockdown all this time?
Off and on, yes. On the days that I've asked, we've happened to be on lockdown, which means either an incident has happened or they're just so understaffed that they have to lock everyone down.
Hey, Malibu, sir.
Probably more to do with understaffing.
Okay. How you been?
Well, had the world's shittiest birthday present, so.
This?
Yeah.
That shit pissed me off. You had the world's shittiest birthday present. What about Maddie's birthday present? To be unalived on the night of her 13th birthday party. Like, excuse the hell out of me? Excuse me, sir? What did you just say? No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
And then you didn't call, so I'm assuming because of changes that they prevented you from calling?
No, they were actually moving me around a lot, shuffling back and forth, so I was having to get my phone privileges jockeyed back and forth, which takes a little while. And then, like I said, the days that I was out.
He just said I had to get my phone privileges jockeyed back and forth. Like, his choice of words is weird. And it would make him seem like a really intelligent person, but at the same time, he seems really like ignorant about things as well. So it's confusing. Like the term meandering and saying jockeying for like moving around or something. I don't know. It confuses me at times. Cara said, I was just typing that at allegedly. Both Stefan and Jen cry about their birthdays being ruined. Right. I'm like, dang, how selfish can you freaking be? In this, I mean, I can't stand it either, indie girl. I know who killed you said they had the same reaction. Teresa, hey, how you doing? Him and Jen complaining about their birthday. Selfish, horrible people. And Maddie had to live with that her whole life. Joyce said people like that don't care about anybody. I agree. Hey, Brooklyn.
Asking we happen to be on lockdown on those days. So it's just been inconvenient.
Okay.
Very inconvenient timing, and then we were on lockdown all weekend. I wanted to call on Mom's birthday. I tried to call yesterday. I tried to call Saturday, and it was no go anytime. So, but I've been wanting to call. How have you been?
I'm trying to put this on speaker.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put this on speaker. Okay.
How have you been? Can you hear me?
Good. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Hio, I hope you have a good day, honey. I hate that you're leaving, but I hope you have a good day. I don't know who killed you said jockey is prison slang. Stefan's picking up on how inmates talk. Really? I think he's in isolation, but that's interesting. Rachel said, I think that Stefan's dad has thought for a while that he was addicted to corn, but I don't think he knew about what he was doing to Maddie. Oh, poor baby had a rough birthday, right? I don't think he knew what was going on with Maddie either. Linda, thank you for being here. Linda says, shame. Edith said, my pleasure. I love gifting memberships. Well, thank you for doing that. He's being dishonest. I agree. He didn't want to talk to his parents, said Anna. Yeah, and I agree with that too. I don't think he wanted to talk to him either, especially when we went over the jail files, how he would pick up the phone and just sit there and not call anybody.
Is Mom there with you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
What's that?
Stefan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is Mom with you?
Hang on a second.
Okay.
You can imagine I was like, I had took all this time to put like the picture of them in right when they were speaking and make sure it was right. And then I look at the first video I uploaded and it wasn't this one. And I was like, dang it, like 260 people had already seen the one it wasn't supposed to be that I took so long to try to make. So I was upset. Miss Holmes said, hey, allegedly, mods and allegedly speculating crew. He's lying right now to his parents. Been confirmed there was no lockdown or moving back and forth to different cells. Thank you for that. I need to check my jail files. I'm sure it's confirmed in that. Hey, Fairdincum. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And then last one real quick. Joseph said he did want to talk to his parents for them to put money on his books. Yeah, he did. And that's why he calls, because at the end he asked them to put money on his books. You're right.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Stefan,
You can hear me? Yes, can you hear me?
yes. Okay, I got some speaker.
Okay. Is Mom there?
Yes, mom's with me now.
Okay.
The dogs are barking. I'm wondering, because he said Stefan's on speakerphone, so I wondered if the dogs were barking at Stefan.
Happy birthday, belated birthday, Mom, and happy belated Mother's Day.
Hi, sweetheart. I was so hoping to hear from you. I'm so glad I'm hearing from you now.
Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't able to call you all weekend. They had us on lockdown, so no one was able to do anything.
Were you expecting these charges?
No.
Okay, right
charge.
there.
Oh, well.
Were you expecting the murder charge? And he says no. And what he's going to say about that is really interesting. Sarah said, I think his parents are good people and are shocked, as many people are. I just want to understand what happened. I think Dad is upset that they raised a monster. I'm going to agree with you on that one, because even in this even in this jail phone call, you can tell they're kind of questioning things like, okay, like that doesn't make sense. And he even says later in the call, he's going to talk about how Stephen called him out to spend time with him, but didn't spend time with him. And he's like, I wish you would have told me something, because maybe we could have talked to somebody and got ahead of this thing before all this happened. And I mean, that's how, I mean, I think most parents would act, right? Like, you're going to be befuddled because that's your child on these charges being accused of these horrendous things. And, there's evidence out there that they did it. But at the end of the day, that's still your child. Like, you're going to love them no matter what. So I want to be fair. I do think that there could be like some things that are learned, but I don't think his parents are bad people at all.
Okay, so you got blindsided by that.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not true. I never would have wanted her gone for any reason. So, premeditated first degree is kind of a dick punch.
Okay, so he says, I loved her. I would not have wanted her gone for any reason. So for premeditated first degree is kind of a dick punch. So that, I mean, and I believe that. I believe that in his sick, twisted mind, he was very much in love with Maddie. And that's weird for me because I don't know that he would have done this. I don't know if he's trying to say it was an accident. I don't know if he's trying to say that Jen had something to do with it, but I'm going to back it up just a smidge. And again, listen to what he says. I mean, because he's saying that he didn't do it, in my opinion. I think that he's saying he didn't do it. And I believe it because he loved Maddie in his sick, twisted way, right? And again, even if we look at it like, okay, he has been having unfettered access to this child from the age of 6 to 13. What happened to make him, because he's already has everything he wants from her, unfortunately for her. So why all of a sudden when she turns 13, would he just snap and do her in? A lot of people have said children age out, but I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. I think something happened, whether it be an accident or by Jen. I don't think that it was, if it happened by him, I don't think he meant to. I think it was an accident, or like I said, Jen did it. Real quick, I wanted to read what you guys are saying. The dad said to the mom, how well do we know our son? Of course, their natural instinct is to want to defend him. They're just coming to grips with having to quiet that instinct. That's got to be hard. I agree, Sarah Lee. Shaboogie said she threatened him. And Ruler, if I haven't said hey to you, I want to say hey and thank you for being here. Annie says, first degree is a dick punch. Why did he bring a gun that day? I feel Maddie was with child and wanted to run away. At 16, I felt the same way. Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that, Annie. I think he carried the firearm with him because in the pictures that I have gotten there, he has so many firearms. So I don't think it was like something he brought with him that day specifically. I think he just carried it on him. And Teresa says, I'll read Teresa and Shaboogie's. Teresa said, I disagree about his parents' goodness. I believe they tried to protect him from natural consequences and contributed to his lack of responsibility. Now, to be clear, I agree with that too. From what I've heard, that I haven't been able to verify it, so I can't say, etch it in stone. But from what I've heard, he was making videos of a roommate of his, and his mother paid them off to kind of sweep it under the rug. That's a rumor that I've heard. I cannot validate it. But if that's true, then yeah, I believe that they kind of tried to cover for him. But at the same time, like they might have thought, okay, well, he's young and stupid, so maybe I don't want this on his record. Maybe I can handle this situation out of court to keep his record from being tarnished. And because of the way they babied him and adored him and took care of him, it made him into what it was. Not necessarily that, but like it made it easier for him to do things and get away with it. And they were kind of like, unknowingly covering for him. Does that make any sense to you guys? Shaboogie said, I think he's only did it because he felt he had to, like not premeditated, but in the moment, maybe he was threatened when she said she was running away. That's a possibility. Sarah Lee said, I've not seen anything publicly that would point to them being bad people, but when the trial happens, we will see their reactions to it. If I do see something that indicates that, I will retract. Yeah, I'm excited for, not excited, but I want to know, because the trial is going to tell us so much. Linda says, I think she was ready to turn him in. Kids middle school talked about things, and she released what she was experiencing. She realized what she was experiencing with that monster was wrong. I think that's a possibility too. And then real quick, lastly, hey, Truth to Light, thank you so much for being here. Truth to Light said she liked a boy her own age she had a crush on. Yeah, I question whether that was a motive. Matilda, I think they will. Absolutely. They support him in jail. Of course they're going to show up in court, in my opinion. All right, so let's listen to that again.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not true. I never would have wanted her gone for any reason, so.
I never would have wanted her gone for any reason, and I believe that.
Premeditated first degree is kind of a dick punch.
But then he says premeditated first degree is kind of a dick punch. So that tells me, okay, he says specifically premeditated first degree is a dick punch. So that would tell me that it was some kind of accident that happened, because he didn't say the homicide charge in general is a dick punch. He said premeditated first degree is a dick punch. So that makes me think it could have been an accident. And he's saying, I didn't plan this. I didn't premeditate it. I didn't want for her not to be here. So that's kind of, that's kind of a dick punch to me. Hi, Mystic Firefly, and thank you for being here. Who paid for Jen's weight loss surgery? I don't know. Maybe insurance, Sub Rosa. Moss Mommy said he's blaming his alleged TBI for everything. Yeah, they talk about that. Mystic Firefly said, I wonder what the relationship was like between Maddie and the 15-year-old boy living with his mom in the other room. No one talks about that child. That's a good question. I don't know. The roommate hasn't talked about him. She just has said that he's her son and they share a room together. The mom and the son.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering if you had any updates or anything.
Nope, we haven't heard a thing. Just,
He did just admit to it. I think he admitted to it by saying that first degree premeditated was a dick punch. Not necessarily the murder, but the first degree premeditated was. Hey, Queen Olive.
Speculation that she's been hiding, put in an institution and hiding in an institution.
At her lawyer's request.
Yeah.
I mean, are you cooperating with police about her participation in any of this stuff?
There's been no opportunity for me to cooperate with anything. As I understand, the police keep saying that I'm uncooperative, but they haven't asked.
Okay, so the dad says, have you had a chance to talk with them about her cooperation in this? So that tells me that the parents know Jennifer was somehow involved. That means she's definitely somehow involved. And he says they keep saying I'm uncooperative, but that's because he lawyered up. So they're going to say that he's uncooperative because he requested a lawyer immediately. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's uncooperative. But I don't think they're going to come to him with any kind of deal or trying to get information from him anyway, because let me tell you what, that murder indictment, I have been printing it out and I'm on page 400 and I've almost went through a box of paper. I'm going to show it to you when I get done printing it out. But it's a ridiculous amount of evidence. I don't think they even needed Jen to testify, to be honest with you. And I thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. That was super sweet and really supportive of you. I really appreciate that. Cara said, together, why else would she have him constantly alone with Maddie? If he's been in her life since she was 6, he's probably helping dry Maddie off when she was getting out of the pool. Hey, Toxic. It's good to see you. I don't know if that's you or Banshee, but I'm glad you're doing okay. To finish that, showers, etc., picking out outfits. So in his mind, Jen wanted it, and I'll have to look for the other part of that. Hey, Kathy. I missed the other part of that. And then lastly, my passenger said that private insurance pays for it. Oh my goodness, chat is fine. Lastly, Alex said, my guess, Jen originally said she was okay with him filming her while she was passed out on sleeping meds. That's, quote, how it started. That's it's a possible speculation. Banshee, I hope that Toxic feels better. Again, please keep Toxic in your prayers. She's in the hospital. All right, let's continue.
And asked me anything to cooperate with, so whatever that means.
So your attorney isn't approaching them and saying, my client would like to speak with you?
Well, my attorneys are pretty much saying to keep my mouth shut until the trial starts.
Well, okay.
Okay. I don't know why they were going to wait till the trial, but that's their business.
They're waiting for the trial because, for the CSAM stuff, I think they're talking about the homicide trial, but there's just so much evidence against him as far as the CSAM stuff that they don't need him to talk. The DA's not going to want anything from him on that. The homicide, I don't know what they've got on that. I don't know if they figured out who actually did it yet. So I would think they might want to talk to him, but they're going to seek the death. Like they want Stephen Stearns tarred and feathered. They want him on death row. So I don't think they're going to be trying to talk to him or do any deals. I think they're going to go out of their way to get it from everybody else they possibly could. Mystic replied to Sarah Lee saying Stephen actually had, another relationship the Christmas before this happened. He is a sleaze. That is crazy. Hey, Elaine. You're not late. Y'all say I'm late. You guys got here right when you were supposed to be here. All right, let me check my children.
Mine.
They don't want anything to hurt my chances.
Yep, understand. Okay.
Hey, what was Joey's last name?
Beltry?
Yeah, Veltry.
Joey Beltry? Beltry?
Beltry.
Beltry or Beltry?
Veltry with a V. Like victory.
V.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So, yeah, basically,
I don't know who Joey is, but I'm assuming that's going to be a character witness at trial, would be my thoughts on that. Hey, Luke the Duke. Hello from Costa Rica. It's good to see you. I wish I was in Costa Rica right now. Alex said, I agree. Knowing where their extra spending money came from is important. A new car and expensive toys. Yep. Teresa said, I bet Madeline has Stefan's skin under her fingernails and possibly, other things. I question it. And they're going to know from the autopsy. But again, let's say that she did. The skin under the fingernails is pretty damning with the scratches he had on his hands. That would be pretty damning. The fluid stuff, if we know that there was a relationship going on, that wouldn't necessarily mean that he committed the homicide, right? Mystic said, when I heard the docket read out the date Stephen was with Maddie, there's no way the mother didn't know what he was doing, the times, the dates. Yeah, it's in the homicide document. I've read out some of the things too. Like, for me, when she said, they started going upstairs because they wanted to take snacks upstairs and watch TV. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense. Why not watch TV in the living room if you're doing something innocent and have snacks down there where everybody can see you? Like, I don't know. That part stuck out to me because I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. I don't know if Jen had any scratches, Rachel. So far we haven't heard of her having any.
Just confirms that they're artificially inflating everything up as high as they can possibly do it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So I don't know
what sticks.
I don't know that. It's normal for them to throw a bunch of things on a person just to see what they can get to stick in the beginning. But I don't know that they're doing that in this because there is so much evidence. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of evidence they have against.
What the plan is there, if they're just trying to scare me into pleading down or...
But again, and I'm sorry to pause it, again, that's for the CSAM. Like, I don't know how much evidence they have for the actual homicide. Like the person said, I'm sorry, I can't remember who said it, but if they've got like his skin under her fingernails, that's damning because he had the scratches on his hands. And they do have him driving around with her in the front seat. But again, that doesn't necessarily tell me who committed the homicide, because Jen could have done it and he could have been covering for her. So that's where I'm at with it. I don't know how much evidence they have as far as the homicide. The mom still defending him does bother me. Right, Rachel? Jenny Jen said, maybe Jen planned it and needed Stefan to help, allegedly. I'm wondering.
I don't know.
No, they're not.
Okay.
They're just trying to hurt me as much as possible.
Are you able to share?
Right there, he said they're just trying to hurt me as much as possible. Like, and again, I go back to his love for Maddie. Like, by saying these things and the poem and all the things, he feels like the police are just trying to hurt him by saying he did all these horrible things, when he feels like he was in love with Maddie and it was a relationship. So he says they're just trying to hurt me as much as possible, basically by saying, tarnishing the validity of their relationship in Stefan's eyes. That's what he means when he says that, in my opinion, allegedly speculating. And it's really sad, sick, and gross, but he's just like, they're just trying to hurt me. And in reality, no, you were hurting Maddie. It doesn't matter what you thought was going on. You were hurting Maddie. And that's that.
The Saturday night before you left for Kissimmee.
Mystic, Firefly, I'm not really technically savvy. I'm actually working on a Chromebook that was like, I've got to update my stuff since I became a little bit bigger of a channel. It's in my Discord. I'm working on printing it out as well. And then I have it on my page. I started reading through it, and I think I've got through about page 400. That's where I could tell you to get it as of right now. I'm working on putting another video out, reading through the 896 page document. I will tell you that you can find the 501 page document if you join Grizzly's Patreon, and it's free. It's on there. That's where I found the first one, but I don't know. The one should be in my Discord, which is also free, and I'll drop the link in the description box, but that's where I would tell you right now. Flora W., thank you for being here. Jackie, thank you for being here.
You were pretty upset about something. Did it have to do anything with Kissimmee and the events that took place the next couple of days?
No.
Okay, right here, I think he's lying. Dad is asking about Saturday night when he seemed so upset. He says, does it have anything to do with what happened in Kissimmee in the next couple of days? Why were you upset that Saturday night? If you guys don't mind, please hit the thumbs up so we can get out into the algorithm.
Okay.
No, I was just stressed out about money and job and everything.
Now,
like
that's
that.
a lie. I feel like he's lying to his parents. Why was he so stressed out that Saturday night? He says it's because it was money, not having a job, and all of that, but I don't think so. Sub Rosa said, I don't care if other people have sympathy for Stefan's parents. I've seen their interview and I had a different takeaway from it. I don't have sympathy for them. And I appreciate you sharing your opinion and letting us know that. I respect your opinion. I've got a little bit of sympathy, but I respect your opinion, and I appreciate you letting us know and sharing that here. Kathy said, hi, folks. We're sending him lots of money for his commissary. This is almost like life on the outside, just sitting around being taken care of. You're right. Is it possible for police to use Jen's cell data to prove she was at home when Steph was filming Maddie on his phone? I hope the police are investigating Jen's location when the essay was happening. To be sure. I mean, I could almost guarantee that she was there when it was going on. I can almost guarantee that they can put Jen's cell phone at the house when the essay was going on with Maddie. Now, in cases like the Long Island serial killer, his wife and daughter were like out of the country when that was going on. So I believe they really had no idea, right? But Jen, absolutely, she was at home. I could almost guarantee you, even though I've never seen it. Hey, Nanny Goat. Nanny Goat said, I don't think he would cover for Jen for any reason. He understands the implication of his charges. He won't fall on the sword for Jen. I think he's going to snitch on her. I think he's going to turn on her, and I'll explain that.
Some woman got on a YouTube thing and said that you weren't even at the party.
Party?
Yeah, her birthday party.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. I went up there Sunday evening and got there after she was done at her party.
So this was important to me, and I didn't realize it until somebody said in the comments section, he hasn't even told his parents that he wasn't allowed at the party. Because his mom is like, why weren't you at the party? And he's like, oh, I hadn't got there yet. I'm not allowed to be there, which I found interesting. Ann said, I feel Maddie was disappointed with the turnout of the party, made running away more important. Friends abandoned her, she felt, possibly. And my passenger said his parents are also victims of this. Everyone involved is a victim of Stephen Stearns and Jen Soto. Am I sympathetic? No, empathetic. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Moss Mommy said Deborah is still trying to defend him, won't face up to what her son really is. But I ask you, okay, if this was your child and you loved your child, you babied your child your whole entire life, you made sure he was at home because you didn't know how much longer you and your husband had, so you wanted to make sure that somebody was there to take care of the dogs and the house and all of that to the best of your ability, even though he was a man child and you spoiled him and everything. Like, would it be so easy for you to turn your back on your child like that? Especially one that you obviously adored to no end, so much so that you're still supporting him at the age of 37 and he has no job. Not necessarily, like, I don't think they're saying the CSAM or what happened to Maddie was acceptable at all, right? But, like, if you find out and are just hit with this is what your child is, would you just drop all communication, not try to help and support him in jail when he has, like, obviously nobody else is going to help him, right? Like, that would be my question.
Oh, okay.
And we were very happy that I was there. We were very happy that the three of us were together. It was shaping up to be a great week and a great visit. You know, there's no reason for anything to happen.
Right there. It was shaping up to be a great weekend. They were all happy we were together. There was no reason for anything to happen that happened. What happened? What happened? We know that she's deceased, right? He says there was no reason for any of that. So what are you saying there? Are you saying you didn't do it? Like, that would tell me if you're like, everybody was happy. They were happy I was there. It was shaping up to be a great weekend. We were going to have a great time together. There was no reason for anything to happen that happened. Does that mean that Jen, possibly allegedly speculating, walked in and saw something, snapped and did something, and he's saying there was no reason for that? I could have explained the situation. Or was there, like, it makes me question, are you saying Jen was involved and you're upset because there was no reason for her to do what she did? Are you saying that it was an accident because of you're upset about the premeditated and the first degree, but not necessarily about the homicide charge? I have questions. Bear said at the end of the day, Jen sent her little daughter upstairs to sleep with a grown-ass man, knowing he had a firearm and locks on the door. She needs to be sentenced for that. Yeah, I agree with that. She definitely has some neglect and some things like that to answer for.
Is there some explanation of I came up Wednesday morning, met you at the hotel early in the morning, and is there some explanation why you left and went where you went?
I was driving around.
Okay. Understood you were driving around, but they know where you were driving around.
Yeah.
Right there, Dad already knows where he was driving around, okay? This is when he left the hotel that night between, I think it says in the document, 3:45 to 7 something, he was gone. Okay, and I read through it in those two videos. In those two videos, I remember reading that they place him they placed Stefan at his dad's house connecting to the Wi-Fi in that time period that he was gone that night while Dad and Jen are sleeping at the hotel, okay? So he drove to their house, connected to their Wi-Fi, not necessarily went in. He could have been sitting in the car or whatever. He connected to their Wi-Fi, did something, and left. And so Dad's saying, why did you go there? What did you do? And he's like, I was just driving around. And then Dad hits him with, I know where you were at. I don't understand why you came to my house basically and connected to my Wi-Fi, because the cops have told me you did that. And I know you did that. That's what he's talking about. You all do have great points, and thank you all for sharing. I'm trying to highlight some of all of y'all's comments because y'all got such great comments. And thank you for that. Elena said maybe Jen has his back because she's the one who did it. She acts so strange. I think that Jen has his back because she's the one who did it. And I think Stefan is like, yeah, I don't like this being in jail. I don't like this shit at all. I'm about to tell everything. I need the DA to come over here and talk to me right now so I can tell him what really happened. But the DA won't come and won't talk to him. And that's where he's talking about, they say I'm being uncooperative, but I'm not.
And we know.
Okay. I had wanted to grab a few things and get my ducks in a row, kind of prepare myself for whatever was coming, but
deleted what he could and went to the storage unit and tried to get rid of whatever's in that modem and computer that we saw that was on and being used in a storage unit, which is just, there's only one reason for that. Like, why would anybody set up a computer and a modem in a hot storage unit other than to use it? Okay, why are you using a computer in a storage unit? Well, because you don't want the IP address to come back to your residence. So what does that mean? I mean, there's only so many things we can say before speculation becomes truth. Sub Rosa said, if Stefan understood that choices have consequences, he might have made better choices. Who taught him that he was immune to consequences? His parents. I agree, but again, I give them grace. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, though, and I respect your opinion. Boomer said, and hey, Boomer, didn't Stephen Stern's mom also state the dogs alerted to someone being there that night? They absolutely did. Absolutely. Rochelle, thank you for being here. If I called you Rachel, I do apologize. Said people don't dislike Cindy Watts for supporting her son. I agree, it's the way she treated Shannon in life and spoke about it in her death. And lastly, real quick, Anne said, I think Jen did it. Maddie's crock, nobody knew where it was. They found it where it landed on Jen's dresser, and the other was placed in the dumpster. So assume they stayed on Maddie's foot. I was not aware that it was on her dresser. I need to validate that. Thank you for letting me know. That is weird if it was on her dresser. Jen is garbage and won't stop. Jen is garbage and we won't stop fighting for Maddie. Absolutely, Jenny Jen.
I couldn't find what I was looking for.
Okay.
What was he looking for?
And then I ended up just kind of driving around aimlessly.
Okay. I mean, you asked me to come up, and we hardly spent 35 minutes the entire time I was there throughout the entire day. And it's like, I wasn't sure why I was there. And then I was caught off guard by what happened later that afternoon, and obviously haven't seen you since.
Yeah, well, I just felt like I needed an ally there.
That right there was important to me. I felt like I needed an ally there. Hey, Your Best Nightmare. I like your name. Your Best Nightmare said, I don't know. Most good parents give their kids support in their adult lives. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Gina Marie. Miss Holmes. No, Croc was in corner of Jen's room with other shoes. That's where I thought I saw it on the picture, but I wasn't sure. Thank you. Hey, Darla. Darla said, a call with Stephen Stearns. That is all about attacking Jen. That's what it seems without saying Jen, though. So he states, I felt like I needed an ally there. Why did you need, okay, number one, you didn't tell your dad what was going on. So what did you need an ally with? Like, why did he feel attacked? And again, that makes me question, okay, did Jen do this? Like, did you feel like you needed an ally there because you didn't want all this shit to get pinned on you? But then you're the one driving her around. You're the one going to the site where she was quote unquote dumped. So what does that mean? I felt like I needed an ally there, but you didn't tell your ally what was going on. So it's not like you needed him to help you figure out what to do, because you never told him what was going on. So why did you need an ally there? Were you being attacked by Jen? Were you scared that you were going to get convicted of doing some things that you didn't do? And if you didn't do them, then who did them? The only other person is Jen. So what happened? Indie Girl said, yep, he knew he was going down. Yeah, and I get that 100%. I wonder why he didn't talk to his dad about it. Like, if you felt like you needed an ally there, then why not be like, hey, look, this is what's going on. This is what happened. I need help.
Well, I wish you had come to me and talked to me about some stuff, and maybe we could have helped you out in some way, giving you some advice. But certainly, under the extenuating circumstances, what was later discovered obviously couldn't help you any further than what had already taken place. So the most logical thing would be to have, face up to it and have a conversation with the appropriate authorities or get an attorney or something. But be that as it may.
I'm with the dad. Like, why didn't you, if you felt like you needed an ally there, why didn't you tell me? Like, so I could help you. Everybody's saying Jen's, the crock was on the floor or in the corner of the room. That's what I remember. And I appreciate it. Hey, Sint said Stephen Stearns didn't want his dad in the way when he went to go retrieve his nasty business. I don't know what that word is. Accoutrements or accounts. Oh yeah, panel link. Let me drop panel link. I apologize. I always forget. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, I don't know if that's the case, or I don't know. I mean, that's definitely a possibility, Sent. I question about, like, did he really feel like he needed an ally there? And if so, what do you need an ally there for when you didn't even tell him what was going on? Like again, it makes me question Jen's involvement. And then really quick, Your Best Nightmare said Jen seemed to be less sad about Maddie passing than him. I think she held the CSAM over his head and made him do it because Maddie was done with the abuse. That's a speculation that could be true. Absolutely. I question if like the mom said, Jen flipped out for whatever reason and Stefan decided to go down for it basically because he felt guilty about the CSAM stuff. And I'm wondering if that's what happened. And now he's not liking where he's at, and that he's facing death row. And he's like, I want to roll on this biatch if they would talk to me. But now they've offered her limited immunity. So he's probably concerned about that too. I just dropped link.
Well, we got a copy of your birth certificate for Sheila Marino and for your case. We're trying to get hospital records from the TBI, but Sarasota Memorial says you were never a patient there, so that's ridiculous if you know you were.
So that tells you that they're definitely going to try to use the TBI for his defense, which is the traumatic brain injury where he was hit by a car when he was small. He was by a car backing up or something. Hey, Carrie B, thank you for being here. Carrie said, I think they dressed her in Jen's room. Then Jen was lookout and Stephen Stearns carried her to the car. Scurried to the car with Madeline's body. Definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. Roxanne said, and hey, Roxanne, if I haven't said hey to you, Stephen was selling CSAM, in my opinion, is where a lot of his toy and play money came from, I believe. I definitely think that too, the more I get into this and get more information, I think that he was definitely selling CSAM because he thought he was in love with Maddie. They were doing these things anyway, so why not take pictures and make money off of it is what I think his thought process was. Hey, Shaboogies, and thank you for coming up. It's good to see your profile picture. And
hey.
I hope you're doing good.
I hope you are as well, and I have nothing of substance to say yet, but I have a big old mouth, so I thought I might prepare myself.
Okay, you're more than welcome.
Yeah. And were you able to find my social security card?
Possibly,
Yes.
Linda.
Good. I presume it was probably in that mouse toy box with everything?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. No, I don't recall where it was, but it wasn't I wasn't there, but
I don't remember if you had confirmed or not. Were you able to find my watch?
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
So
there was no popcorn box.
Little silver mouse
we already
toy.
had your social security card, so why did you think we need a?
So Dad's tried to change the subject pretty quickly when it comes to the watch and all of that.
Your number. I don't. Why do you think we need to find the card?
Just in case I was going to need it in the future.
Okay. Well, we have that.
How long I'm going to be here, if or when I'll ever be released, or if you guys are going to be around at that point. But birth certificate, social security card might be things I'll need in that case.
Well, the penalty for the crimes you have been charged with carry a minimum 40-year sentence. So,
I mean, I think Dad's just trying to hit him with some reality there. Like, you want me to find your birth certificate and social security card so you have them, but I don't think you're going to be getting out anytime soon.
His dad said, "You ain't never getting out, honey."
Right? His dad's like, I hate to break it to you, but listen here.
Obviously, we're going to be gone. Rick will be gone. We'll all be gone. I mean, we're sad about that, obviously, because there won't be anybody here for you when you come out.
Yeah, and I'll be lucky if I have another 40 years left in me either. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess everything sticks.
I wish there was a way that, you and I can have a conversation, all of us could have a conversation to understand what's taken place, how this came about, how you arrived here, because it would help us better understand the situation, because we're at a loss for understanding.
So, I mean, like most people, Dad's like, I don't understand how this happened. I don't understand how we got here. I wish we could talk and you could explain it to us, and maybe he will after trial, but Dad is just befuddled. Hey, Corrine. Thank you for being here. Cara said something that made me... That right there. His dad's calling him a dumbass without calling him a dumbass.
How all this came about. I mean, we're just totally baffled.
Well, I didn't start it.
Right there. I didn't start it. Now, I've heard of victim blaming, okay? I've absolutely heard of that. And a lot of these predators will say, well, the 3-year-old... let me hold on. Let me give my trigger warning, because I'm about to trigger some people, and I apologize for that. But a lot of predators will be like, well, the 3-year-old, she was just walking by me and sucking on a sucker, and she crawled up in my lap and started bouncing, like, I don't know, just stupid shit. And they'll blame the victim, right? When the child was just literally eating a sucker and just like, sat on an adult's lap like most little babies do. And then you bounce them up and down, nothing horrendous about it. But these predators will see it as something, well, she wanted it or whatever, because that's how their freaking sick, perverted mind works. I definitely know about that. But I don't think that's what this is. I don't think that's what he means when he says, I didn't start it. I think that he means another adult started this situation, and then Madeline, for whatever reason, he thought she continued it, or he wanted to continue it, or I don't know. It makes me think about when he said she did something with a phone when she was 6 years old. So did she do something with the phone because something had already been happening, and Stephen saw that, and being the sick monster that he is, he took advantage of that instead of like trying to be like, hey, why is she doing that? Where has she seen this action before? Why would she do that with a phone? We need to figure this out. He said, well, whatever, I'm going to continue the abuse or the cycle of abuse. Like, I think that something happened before, or somebody had hurt her somehow before, and that's what he's referencing. I don't think that it's victim blaming by basically saying, well, Maddie wanted it. I don't think that's where he's at with it.
Maybe, but these guys, like, they tend to think of these children like they process thoughts like an adult. Like, they talk about these kids like they have the same thoughts and same, like, premeditation that adult would have. It's like they can't figure out that a child's brain is not working at the same capacity as a 37-year-old.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that, for sure. And it does happen, and there's a lot of victim blaming. And I respect your opinion. And if that's what y'all think is going on, I definitely respect your opinion. I just think that he's referencing an earlier event that happened before he got involved, personally.
Possibly.
Hey Bogart, it's good to see you.
Okay. You didn't start it, but you participated in it, which is just as bad as not starting it, but that's for another day. Again,
I agree with the dad.
I don't know if
details or anything, but, you know, I mean, if you'd like to schedule a visit with me or something, maybe we can find some way to talk.
I wish he would have been, like, I wish he could have spoke there and we could have heard what, because he wants to talk to him. He wants to say something.
It's hard to say, too. Like, you're right. It could go either way. It's hard to say whether he's saying that because he's going to think of some horrible excuse to give his dad, or if he wants to tell his dad, hey, by the way, Jen, like, told me to do this.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, Shauna. Shauna said, hey, everybody, I'm so sorry. I've been sick, but I'm here. I'm late, but I'm here. Well, sweetheart, I hope you feel better, and you're not late. You got here right when you were supposed to be here. Sarah said, the dad's like, okay, you didn't start it, but you participated, and we're not going to be here when you get out, so let's deal with your car, please. Like, right down to business, the dad gets, yeah. Rochelle said, abusers either try to act like a child or treat the child like they are older. That should have been the first red flag. Yeah, absolutely. Indie Girl said he just needs money. Iced Macchiato, thank you for being here. Iced Macchiato said, remember Maddie did joke about her and Stephen Stern's legs touching. I didn't know that. I haven't heard that. Tell me where you heard that so I can validate it. I'm sorry, Basil is like crawling all up on my lap right now, so I'm acting
That's
awkward.
interesting, too, because, you know, a lot of times, we're girls. When you were a little girl, didn't you have a crush on older guys? Like for me, it was like Zach Morris on Saved by the Bell, right? I thought he was so hot. And I feel like that happens with real men in their lives, too, that they sometimes develop these little innocent crushes. And then it's whether that person is a fucking predator or not on whether they try to, like, manipulate these little girls and do something about it.
Absolutely.
So it's possible she had a crush on him, but, you know, not in that way.
Right.
Ugh.
You know, that is possible. And I hadn't even thought about that. Not trying to put anything on Maddie, but yeah,
not on her at all. Just like an innocent little thing. And I'm sure she never anticipated an innocent little crush would lead her to that.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. It's definitely a possibility. And I hadn't even thought about that.
I don't know. I think we're always going to be recorded. So there won't be an opportunity to do that. Now, we have to make arrangements for you to sign off on a power of attorney so we can do something with this car. Yeah. And I would have to bring a document over. They won't even let me see you. I would just hand it to the classification officer. He would bring it in, you sign it, they would notarize it, give it back to me, and I would leave.
Okay. I think I just got the 1 minute warning.
Okay.
So yeah. Give them whatever you need, and I'll sign whatever I need to sign. In the meantime, I'll try to call back for the next couple of days, and we'll talk some more. If you wouldn't mind putting a little more money in my commissary as well.
All right, I can't do much stuff because we are really, when I say dead ass broke, I mean dead ass broke, but I'll do what I can.
Okay, I appreciate it.
That could change, but for right now, for the next 30 days, we are definitely in lockdown.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. All right.
Maybe
I'll try to get over there within the week to get the POA taken care of.
Okay. There's a 15-minute cooldown before I can call back. I'll see if I can call back again. If not, I'll try to call back in the next couple of days.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Okay. All right. I love you. Bye.
Bye.
And that's the end of that conversation. Real quick, I'm going to bring you over here because I've heard this stated. Mystic Firefly, I don't know if it highlighted it. Yes, Mystic Firefly said Stephen Stearns seems to have Peter Pan syndrome. And I've heard that and I was like, what is Peter Pan syndrome? Let me make sure y'all can see it. Yes. Okay. So it says Peter Pan syndrome is a popular psychology term used to describe adults who struggle to embrace the responsibilities of adulthood, often exhibiting immature behaviors and avoiding commitments, similar to the fictional character Peter Pan who refused to grow up. It's not a formally recognized clinical diagnosis, but describes a pattern of behavior where someone may prioritize fun and play over adult obligations like work or stable relationships.
It's my favorite definition for millennial men in general.
That is funny. Yeah. I mean, I think I like that. That there is a name for it. I think it definitely is a nice way of saying a man child, in my opinion. It's me. Hi. Thank you for being here. Also known as failure to launch. Said I know who killed you. Yep. Roxanne said, I think Madeline Soto's mother, Jen, was just tracking them because her daughter had just started and there are apps for everything. And it's not like she was busy with taking care of anything. It's possible. It's me said, in my opinion, she wouldn't take the meds and he lost it. That's another speculation and possibility that I haven't heard yet. Interesting.
I think it's funny. Sabrosa in here just said, no money, I gotta go, which is so normal. Like, that would be the thought process a woman or man should have. Like, oh, you have no job. Oh, you make no money. I gotta go. But then you have people like me. It's like, oh, you're poor. You're broke. No one loves you. Let me love you. I can fix you.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of us do that as women. All right. Let's go down. I'm going to try to see if my playlist wants to act right today. Act right. Yeah, thank you for saying that, Mystic Firefly. And see if we can get this because I want to go in order. Okay, so we're back with trying to figure out if Jen Soto knew Maddie was missing before she was technically supposed to know Maddie was missing. And I will pull this playlist up. Jen of Eve said DSM refers to Stearns' behavior under a possible diagnosis of developmental coordination disorder. That's interesting.
Wait, who said he had that?
I don't know. I haven't validated that anywhere. I don't know if anybody said he had that.
That would explain why the parents were so willing to help him so late in life if he did have some sort of condition.
You're absolutely right about that. Yep. All right, I'm waiting for the playlist to load. I think I put it out of order yesterday, so I got to fix it. Yep, I did. I was trying to go through the videos, and I moved it out of order. Okay, so this is going to be February 27th. Jen finds out that Smex Crimes is taking over. I think this is the one where they reference in the her looking deceased in the photo as well. Also, somebody said that that Maddie did take her birthday money home. So before we end this live, I do want to play the interview from the Grandpa Juan where they state that the money was left at her house, at Grandma's house, so that we
I keep thinking everyone's saying the opposite.
Sorry.
Hey, Jennifer. I haven't introduced myself. My name's Myra Carlos. I'm a detective with the sheriff's office. Do you mind if I...
Be crazy. Okay. Yeah, everyone said that she left it at Grandma's house, and I thought she did, but I couldn't validate it until I got the audio. I found, actually, Jenny Jen was like, it's in this video here, and it was in a pictures video I had, and I re-listened to it, and I definitely heard them say that the money was left at grandma's house. So, and then you take into consideration the best friend saying she had one present on the table, and then Jen's talking about how they counted her money and she was so happy and she got all these presents, and it's a stark contrast to what the best friend said, who was actually there. And then you find out also that grandma's saying that the money was left at her house. It's like, why is Jen lying about that?
So I think the police are having a hard, sorry, just really quick. I think the police are having a hard time, like we are, with figuring out, because part of me is like, well, it sounds like she was just involved in the CSAM, not the murder. And then other people are like, it sounds like she's involved in all. And maybe that's the issue the police are having right now. They can't prove either or necessarily yet. And that's what they're waiting for to arrest her.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not a far stretch to think that the police would be having the same issues we are with this. Absolutely. Which they're privy to more information. So I hope that if that's the case, they get the information they need soon. Thomas said he probably said no money, he's on lockdown, because that excuses Stephen give him for not calling. Stephen forgiven him for not calling. Yeah. I believe oh goodness. Jen Soto is delusional, Rochelle. Kalisa, thank you for being here. Says, thanks. I feel like Maddie tried to share with others in a joking around way many times, and everyone was so involved in their own lives, they just blew it off as weird. She was asking for help. Yeah. And I do want to talk about something in that regard. Darla said the sister says she didn't take her money, didn't say whose house it was left at. Thank you. That's right. That's what the sister said. Darla, you're right. So I did assume that she left money at grandma's house because that's where the birthday party was. And when she says she didn't take her money, that made me assume that she didn't take her money from grandma's house because that's where the party was. This is not, I have two questions or two things to bring up from two comments. Somebody said when Jen was crying not to go home from grandma's house. Actually, let me read the comment. Hold on just a minute, because I took a screenshot of it, but I didn't get it ready for today's live. But I did want to share it with you guys. And two things and get your opinions. Someone said it definitely doesn't sound like the grandmother ever pressed Maddie for a reason why she didn't want to go home. And then somebody responded and said, but she hated Stephen Stearns. He wasn't allowed at her house. I assume all family functions where she would be at. And I said, yeah, I do agree. There should have been questions. So going into that, like while, children cry when they leave grandma's house because grandma's house is more fun and you get to do more things there than you necessarily would at your mom's house, where they have to be a parent, like more, not, more of like, you can't do this, you can't do that, whatever. I do question, because she didn't like Stephen Stearns and Maddie's crying to go home. Did you not ever ask her why? And if she did, she might have, right? And maybe Madeline lied and just said, I'm stressed out because of mom. Did grandma think it had more to do with her and Jen fighting than necessarily Stephen? Because we do know that they fought a lot. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And then this as well, which I wrote down, was why not call mom's office instead of driving there? And I thought that was a good question. But then, you got to remember that she's driving there to see if she sees Madeline walk along the way. So that's my thought process on that. And then real quick, yesterday we figured out that I wrote 4 pages of notes, and I should have put them in somewhat of an order last night, but I was printing out that document trying to get that video out. So they're not in that much of an order. Jen woke up between 7 or 8, helped with the dog, and then woke back up at 9. Jen left at 9:30. Stephen had not returned. She got to the doctor at 10:15, spoke to 7 at 10:18. When he got home and called her, and Stephen said Maddie didn't want McDonald's. She was there 45 minutes, and that put her back home between 11:15 and 11:30. Stephen was back. 2:30, she left and waited in the car line to pick up at 4, waited 10 minutes, went to the office to see if Maddie, and I circled made it, because that's a weird thing to say, but I mean, she was dropped off at the church, so if she made it to school from the church. But anyway, she went in the office to see if she made it, drove around, And when she drove around, she got to mom's office between 4:30 and 4:40, and then they drove back to the school. School was closed. And then in that time period, she called Bestie. Bestie says, she told Bestie that she dropped her off at school, as in Jen. Jen said, I dropped her off. Bestie got the call when the ice cream truck was in the neighborhood after school. Her dad searched the woods, and then the teacher got the email at 5:36 Monday, and he replied at 5:53. Sorry for all that. That's where we're at, and we're continuing to see if Jen admits to knowing things before she thought she ever should have, or before she technically should have.
And here's the major problem with that is, why is she lying about dropping her off very early on in the investigation? That means you planned to say you dropped her off, knowing fully well that he did. So why?
Yep, because it's always I or we dropped her
So that more so makes me think, okay, maybe she is involved in the murder, because that has nothing to do with CSAM. That means you're actively lying about an alibi. Why?
Yeah. Yep. Darla, there are times in the document drop, and I am going to check that. I haven't checked it yet because my thought process was that these are the interviews, and those document drops are the police narratives of these interviews that I have on the page. So I haven't went through them, but that is why I started printing them out yesterday, so that I could flip through them and read them and try to locate the exact times that the police pulled for this information. Real quick, I'll read a couple of these. Alex said right out the gate, Jen states, I dropped her off, then we dropped her off, then he dropped her off. Yep. It's me, said, didn't she leave an hour early so she could be first in line, but only stay 10 minutes? Yeah, she left at 2:30, so she would be in line at 4, but that's normal for parents who want to be first in line, because if not, you're like way in the back and you'll be sitting there for an hour anyway. So I do believe that's normal. She sat there and waited 10 minutes and Maddie didn't come out. Then she went in. I would have thought she would have waited a little longer too. But if Maddie usually comes out and she wasn't out by then, I don't find that too suspicious just yet. Rochelle said, Jen Soto didn't need Stephen to take Maddie to school with a 10:15 appointment. All she had to do was get up a half hour earlier to drop her off at school at 9:15 and go to her appointment. I agree with that. She says she needed good sleep, but I don't think you needed to call Stephen, especially considering that Maddie was doing so much better from the time that Stephen wasn't there. Rachel said the story early on was perfectly matched word for word. 2 more real quick and we'll get into it. Roxanne said, I don't think Maddie would have told Jen Soto's mother about the sleeping arrangements, as she knew Grandma didn't like Stephen's turn. She tested the water with Stephen's mom and she didn't like it either, and told Maddie, just saying, yeah, you're right. Khalees said Jen said in the written police report that she saw Maddie that morning and that she dropped her off. It wasn't a mistake. She did say she saw her. She did say she dropped her off. Absolutely. And going back to what Roxanne said. Oh, go ahead, Shaboogies. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, yeah. I mean, like that, the right away saying you dropped her off, knowing you didn't, written police report, first thing when you first report her, you're saying that you saw her. And then that's just 2 people who didn't get their alibi straight. So she had to be involved. She had to be.
I believe so. Yep. Alex said the bell rang at 4:04. She left at 4:10. That isn't much time. I think it was at 4:10 she walked into the office. Going to what Roxanne said, I think Maddie tried to tell a lot of people and tested the waters by saying, our legs touched, or I really love Stephen, or, something, like Stephen likes to hold my hand. I don't know, something innocent or whatever. And to see people's reactions. And then when she got the reaction that they thought it was weird or didn't accept what she was saying, she backed off and shut down. Because it is weird. It's not supposed to be happening. All right. So this is the February 27th, 2024 interview with Jen. She is informed that Smex Crimes is taken over. and she's questioned about Maddie's phone. This is where we find out that she is getting on Maddie's phone and the accounts and things. The police ask her not to, and it's weird because the friend says right after Stefan is arrested, she can't find the pictures of Stefan that were in the group chat. So I'm wondering if Jen was doing damage control by deleting stuff from Maddie's account on, like, from the group chat and things. So here we go.
In this audio, Jennifer Soto is informed that Orange County Sheriff's Office Sex Crime Unit is going to be taking over the case.
4-11313. Today's date is February 27th, 2024. The time is 23:32 hours. Gonna speak with Jennifer Soto. Hey, Jennifer. I haven't introduced myself. My name's Myra Taglo. Okay, I'm a detective with the Sheriff's Office. Do you mind if I talk to you? Do you mind if we talk over there by the car? Can I be up inside? That's fine.
Where? Inside the house?
In the car.
Yeah. My car.
Hazel, goodness. Darla said, I thought this was prior to Stephen Stearns getting arrested, but I could be wrong. This was prior to Stephen Stearns being arrested. The best friend says after Stephen was arrested, the photos were gone. So I'm wondering if she deleted them at this time. Now, if the friend said they were on there until Stephen got arrested, which she might actually, and then gone. But again, I mean, that's just weird to me. I need to double check that. But this would have been prior to Stephen Stearns. I think it would have been. I need to check the date. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% positive this was before Stephen was arrested.
Yeah. Oh, look at the baby. Does it lock?
No, it should be fine.
Okay. Over here, please.
Yeah.
Go back home soon?
I'll explain it in a second. Okay?
So that's Stephen talking. So this is definitely before he got arrested. Corrine said, what I don't get, why would Stephen come over to get her ready for the night? He doesn't need to give her a shower. Right. It's weird. It's definitely weird. Roxanne said, Jen said Stephen's scripted answers were so telling. The special McDonald's breakfast, instead of saying they were going to grab breakfast on the way to school. Yeah, among so many other things. And Cece, hey, thank you for being here, says she didn't go to the school office. She went to her mother's office, then went back to the school office. I'll double check my notes, but I think I wrote down that she did go into the office. They called on the intercom, and then she went to mom's and then goes back to the school office. But I'll double check. The cop was saying that.
I have a question too before we get started. Somebody said something like somebody in here has a gun.
Sorry, Flora W. The cop said, "Look at the baby." I don't know what baby she's referencing.
Is that a true statement or a false statement?
That's a true statement.
Okay, where is this gun at right now?
It is upstairs in the guest bedroom.
It's not like in any of these cars out here.
No, I don't believe so. I think it's upstairs in the guest bedroom.
So that is suspicious to me because we saw all the pictures of all the firearms like laid out in procession, right? So I assumed all those firearms were in Jen's house. But then she says she asked specifically about a firearm, and Jen references the one that's upstairs in bedroom number 4 instead of all of the firearms, like saying there's several firearms in the house. Because if we look at the photos video that I have on my profile, it shows several firearms. Interesting.
Remember, it's got a number 4 on it.
Okay, how certain are we of that?
As far as I know, the gun is inside upstairs. I haven't heard of it being in the car.
Okay. Let me just move my purse.
If you want to take
If you want to start the car and just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Jen said it.
It's not the most comfortable.
I thought it was the baby. I mean, I thought it was the officer that said, look at the baby. Hey, Miss DMGZ.
But at least he won't be cold over there.
Yeah. I get cold super easy.
Yeah, I get hot the same way, so I understand. You want to take a seat right over here? And then she's gonna.
Everybody's saying it was Jen saying, look at the baby. So I could be wrong about that. So it might have been Jen saying, look at the baby that was passing by in the police department lobby. Jen said it and it was strange. Okay. So yeah, from what y'all were saying, right?
Started up.
Hey, Ashley. Right, Mister?
Do you have your keys on you?
Yep. Here, have it a little closer just in case.
Sorry, this isn't my car. There we go. Okay, so I'm not sure if he introduced himself, but his name is Luis Acosta. Okay. We both work for Orange County Sheriff's Office. So I understand you spoke with the other guy earlier with Detective Frank Hunt. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We have officially taken over the case, okay? So
Are you guys with Kissimmee?
No, we're with Orange County. It's just a different unit.
Oh, okay. What unit are you with?
We're with sex crimes.
Okay.
It's just because of her age.
So she does have kind of a questionable reaction to that, right? Like a normal person would. Like, you're just told sex crime is taking over the case, and you're like, okay, why is sex crimes taking over? That is an actual genuine reaction. Now, whether it was from her wondering why sex crimes would be taking over the case or her concerned that they figured out what was going on, I don't know. I don't know that anybody will know. But I did want to, I wish we had a video too. I did want to point that out. Miss Holmes, I wish we had a video too. Mystic said, acting all valley girl and cutesy. Gosh, women like that bug me. Bimbo, dense, airhead, blah. Yes, I don't like people that act like that either. Long pauses before answering. Yes, Sub Rosa. Yeah, you're right, Alex. Normal parent would be like, what the fuck? Oh my God. But Jen's like, okay. But she does say it in a questioning tone. So I do give her grace for it. She's like, okay, like in a question, like okay with a question mark afterwards. And the cop tries to explain it. Roxanne said, I knew in the beginning as a woman who owns her own home, not a new car, that Jen on disability did not live as she did legally or without more roommates than she had. It's questionable. Hey, Priscilla. I will drop it in the description box. I said I was going to do that earlier. I will put our Discord link in the description box.
Jen is why we take over. Does that make? I know it's kind of confusing, but like we have like different rules, in Orange County, and depending on like people's age, we sometimes take over investigation when it comes to missing persons.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, when you talked to him earlier, I kind of got like a brief synopsis of what happened. I understand you have a new job.
Yes.
Okay. And if I say anything that's incorrect, please correct me. Okay. You have a new job. And last night you asked them to go sleep upstairs because you wanted to get rest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What time was this? Do you remember? It doesn't have to be like exact time, but like just. Oh, and then yesterday Sunday she had her birthday party, right?
Sunday she had her birthday party.
Okay, what time was that party at?
It started at 3:00.
Okay, from 3 to what time?
I'm not sure. I wasn't there. I was at work.
Oh, okay, you weren't there.
But I know my sister home around 8:30.
Okay. Was Stefan here at that time?
I'm not sure if he was here at the time, but I think he got here a little bit after. And he was like,
so that puts Steph in there a little after 8:30, and sister dropped her off at 8:30. I have 2 Discord links for my Discord. I don't know which one. Some people say that one of them is expired, so try both of them and then let me know if one of them is expired. I haven't got it there yet. I'm about to post it. I'm also going to drop, as the Gabble Drops Discord, you can go there to get documents, like on any case you ever want to look at. It's really awesome. Hey, Miss Jim Morrison said, I want to know why Jen left to pick up Maddie at 2:45, then drove 15 minutes and the bell rings at 4. Jen said she sat for 10 minutes. That's an hour, not 10 minutes. The math ain't mathing. She said she got there at 2:30. At 2:30, she left and waited in the car line to pick up at 4. 4:10, she asked if she made it, went in the office, and then drove to mom's work, and she wasn't there. Called Bestie, stated we dropped her off, started sending emails to the teacher, but the teacher said he didn't get the email till 5:36. All right, let me write as the Gabble Drops Discord and post their link, and then I'll post it to the description box. For whatever reason, I cannot access my lives once I'm live. I don't know why. It's a weird thing.
Okay, she was already doing what she was supposed to. She had taken her nighttime meds, and she was getting ready for bed, like taking a shower. She'd take showers at night. So he's like, okay, she was already on it. I didn't get home until, I'm going to say 10:30.
Okay.
And then at 11, I sent them to bed.
Did Stefan make it to the party?
No.
Okay. And then once you get here, you said.
Okay, I just updated it, so it should be there now.
You sent her to bed at 10 following morning. Well, I'm sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. You send them upstairs, right? How many bedrooms are upstairs?
3.
Okay. Where?
In bedroom number 4.
Okay.
You know, Linda says, I think the police officer and Jen sound so much alike. And it's funny that you say that, because there is an officer on this case that works this case, and her name is Jen Soto, which is really funny to me. Like, not funny, but,
weird.
ironic.
Weird.
Yeah, it's like it's in one of the documents that I was reading, and it said Officer Jen Soto. Like, I had to check, because I was like, wait a minute, did Jen write this? And then it's like, no, Officer Jen Soto. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Hey, Abellis, it's good to see you. Weirdest comment ever. I sent them to bed. And she says that, like, I sent them to bed. Like, and even the officer replies to her, is like, okay, you sent the kids to bed. Plural, kids, them, plural. You know what I mean? Like she looked at them like they were her 2 children, in my opinion. Hey, Sunflower May.
And what about Stefan?
Bedroom number 4.
Okay. Is it normal for both of them to sleep in the same room?
Sometimes. When I really need a good night's sleep, I will send them upstairs. But when also a lot of times we will sleep together in the king size bed, all 3 of us. Or sometimes Stefan will go upstairs and our bed alone. So it just really depends on what's going on that night with our schedules and what we're doing.
Okay, where were you sleeping?
Downstairs in the king size bed.
Okay. Is it just you 2 here? Well, you guys have a roommate, right?
We have 2 roommates, and one of the roommates has a son who's here like a little bit more than half the week.
So what rooms do you guys use?
Veronica, you said as the Gabble Drops Discord worked. Did the other one not work? Let me know if the other one doesn't work. Even the officer is finding it weird that she sent them upstairs to sleep and she stayed downstairs, because she references, Jen says, sometimes we all sleep together. And so the officer's like, okay, well, where were you sleeping that night? Like, if you all sleep together. And she's like, oh, I was in my room. Like, the officer's already picking up on. It's really weird. I think Sarah dropped our Discord link. I've got to check mine and make sure it works. So if you guys are looking, it's there.
I can't speak for everyone, but I think it's pretty safe to say that any mother that is like a good, smart, intelligent person would not send their daughter to sleep with their boyfriend.
Right.
Period.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mystic Firefly. She said the one that Sarah's posted earlier worked. Okay, thank you for that. So check that one, the one that Sarah posted. Kathy said, I thought it sounded weird that all three would sleep together, but then to find out the two were mostly alone was too much. Yep. Like Shaboogie said, I mean, any normal thinking person would not be sending their child to sleep with their boyfriend. Alex, I think you're right. In room number 4, there was only one pillow on the bed. Hey, Jay Diaz. Jay said, none of this is normal. Normal people don't send their daughters to sleep with their on and off boyfriend. No one numbers their bedroom doors like a hotel. Yeah, I would say that, you know, she has roommates. So, like, if you're renting a room, maybe, but I still find it awkward.
Are y'all in Florida okay?
Remember the room downstairs, the master bedroom downstairs.
Sorry, I was trying to
and room
pause.
number 4.
Oh, my God. My computer's...
Okay. So
I am so sorry, Shaboogies. I didn't mean to do that. My computer.
Oh, no, you're all good. I just made my little comment. We good.
Shaboogies is like, yeah, in Florida is crazy. I mean, all states are crazy, to be fair, but yeah, Florida
But
has
like
some weird things going on.
Orange County, Florida is like always on the news. Like always.
Yeah. Sarah Boone is from Orange County. Like, I've been pulling documents. There's a lot going on down there.
Was
I
Casey
haven't heard
Anthony
about
Orange
that.
County? Pretty sure.
Probably. I'm not sure. I haven't ever pulled the FOIA on that. I'll look it up on my Google and find out. Well, I'll actually ask what cases come out of Orange County, Florida. That would be interesting. Misty, I haven't heard of that. I'll have to look into it. I don't think I have. There's one case that I want to talk about with a little boy, and it might be that one.
So I'm sorry, it wasn't last night. It was the night before.
I'm gonna back it up.
Stefan slept in bedroom number 4, and you slept downstairs. Yes, in the master. Okay.
Because we missed a little bit part of that.
Okay, where were you sleeping? Downstairs in the king size bed. Okay. Is it just you two here, or you guys have a roommate, right? We have 2 roommates, and one of the roommates has a son who's here like a little bit more than half the week. So what rooms do you guys use? The room downstairs, the master bedroom downstairs, and room number 4. Okay. So I'm sorry, it wasn't last night. It was the night before. Stefan slept in bedroom number 4, and you slept downstairs. Yes. In the master. Okay. What time did you wake up? I'm going to say around 8 o'clock in the morning. Stefan came into the room and was trying to put the leash on the dog. He came into the room somewhere between 8 and 8:15.
Okay, in the first interview, she says he came in between 7 or 8, and now she's saying between 8 and 8:15. Room number 4 had a lock on the inside. It actually had 2 locks on the inside. Hey, Susie Q. J. Diaz said, I'm in Florida, in Kissimmee, not too far from where this happened. No, we are not okay. This case is unbelievable, but I'm so glad the police found her. We all want her to be charged. Thank you for representing Kissimmee and saying that.
Yeah, and thank you for being one of the not crazy people, I think, hopefully.
Yeah, I did ask what well-known cases come from out of Orange County, Florida, but it didn't understand what I was asking because what it tells me is DENGUE, and then syphilis, heroin, measles, cousins versus the school board of Orange County.
What?
Like, yeah,
Syphilis,
I don't know.
Measles.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was like, okay, well, that's not what I was looking for, but so I'll look that up and get back to you guys on that. That's odd. Susie Q said Jen knew it was wrong. When asked about what everyone wore to sleep, she slow and quietly said Slepin sleeps in his boxers. Sending your young daughter to sleep with your ex who sleeps in boxers. Yeah, I agree. And then lastly, real quick, Miss Holmes said, what the hell does she mean? Sometimes we all sleep together or she sleeps with him alone. Depends on how our schedules and what's going on. What the fuck? You are going to bed. End of story. How does sleeping depend on people's schedules? What a great point. What a great point, Miss Holmes. I'm going to write that down.
He came in to put the leash on the dog, and I got up to try to help him because my dog is kind of a nervous dog, and I didn't want him to pee on the bed. So we wrangled him, put him on his leash, and he said, go back to sleep. And I said, okay. So I laid back and went back to sleep.
Okay.
I heard people in the kitchen. I'm not sure exactly who was in the kitchen. As far as I know, I came downstairs to get ready in her. So she's got, she's kind of got a bedroom in the living room. If you go into the apartment, you'll see there's like one of those fake walls, separating half the bedroom. She's got like a desk.
Now, I am going to say I wrote down how do schedules affect sleeping arrangements. And after I wrote it down, I did think of like, I guess if somebody has to work would be the excuse. Like, oh, I have to work really early. So because she says it a lot, like she went to sleep with Stefan because I needed good sleep and I had to work really early. And then maybe Jen, I'm sure Jen, my mom Jenny Jen can tell me, but she says Stefan came in between 8 and 8:15 in this interview, where in the first one she said between 7 and 8. But he was at the dumpster. Jenny Jen, can you tell me what time he was at the dumpster? Do you happen to remember? Usually Jenny Jen remembers those numbers for me pretty well. So again, people have said he couldn't have possibly been in there and walked the dog because he was already at the dumpster at that time. So I wanted to validate that or see if we can validate that as well. It makes me wonder what they did to make the dog afraid when they approach him. Yeah. That poor dog, the damn dog is even experiencing anxiety. What schedules? The only person who legitimately had a place to be was Maddie's school. Jen and Stearns didn't work. Jen recently started a job. You know, you're right. You're right.
With a bedroom and a TV and a dresser. But she'll hang out there during the day, but she never sleeps there. She always sleeps with me. And then the rare occasion upstairs. But most of the time it's with me.
Okay. Did you see her on Monday morning?
Visually see her? No.
Okay. She admitted she did not visually see her. So she says in this interview, Stephen came in between 8 and 8:15, and we know that he was at the dumpster at 7:35. The first one she said between 7 and 8. That was a more accurate account.
Hear her. I heard many people in the kitchen. I'm not sure if it was my roommate or her specifically.
Okay. Is your roommate a male or a female?
Female.
Okay.
They're both females.
When was the last time you physically saw?
Wednesday, 11 o'clock. I'm sorry. Sunday, 11 o'clock.
Sunday when you sent her to bed?
To bed.
Okay.
That's weird to me. Like, I'm assuming she just got her days mixed up because we do know for a fact Maddie was at school on Friday. So she did just get her days mixed up. I was thinking possible Freudian slip, but no, she was at school on Friday. So it would have been Sunday night at 11 o'clock is when she claims to have last seen Maddie. But she answered that really quickly, like a lot more quickly than she answers all the other questions that she takes these long drawn out pauses to answer. Teresa, right? But sometimes you have to say that in order for people to understand. Okay.
Well, and then when you woke up, you said you woke up briefly because Stefan went in there. Did you go back to sleep?
Yes.
What time did you get up?
See the long pause? She was quick with that 11 Sunday night.
Let me see if I actually have my alarm set. No, I don't have the specific day on there. Let me check something real quick. I'm pretty sure I woke up around 9 o'clock in the morning. And then I left at 9:30. I had an appointment. I had a doctor's appointment at like 10:15, but they took a while. And then by the time they did my blood work and whatever, I think I got home somewhere between 11 and 11:15.
Okay. When you...
So all that information is the same as her first interview.
got back, was Stefan here?
I'm pretty sure he was, yeah.
What was he doing?
Just sitting in my room. At my computer desk on his phone.
Okay. What did you guys do?
We chatted for a little bit. I asked him what had happened because he had called me earlier at 10. Let me see.
Now, in the first interview, she does say that he called her at 10:18, let her know he was back, and they didn't get she asked about McDonald's, and she said they didn't get McDonald's. Also, that sitting in the computer chair is where she references later the Freudian slip where she's on the couch in the interview. She says they talked about Stefan resetting his phone, and then she's like, oh, I meant doing an update. Right, Veronica? Sus to me too, Flora.
Pretty sure he called me around 10:18.
What did he call you for?
To let me know.
The cop, real quick, like, what do you call you for? Like, she's having none of the BS.
To let me know that he didn't go to McDonald's as planned. He had asked her multiple times if she wanted to stop at McDonald's because that was the plan the night before. That they were going to wake up early. He was going to take her to McDonald's, do like a special McDonald's breakfast.
Okay, let's hit the brakes. Skirt. Okay, I'm done. So they made the plan the night before to go to McDonald's. Okay, the only reason they were going to go to McDonald's was from what allegedly speculating. I think that was the excuse Stefan used to get out of the house with Maddie before the roommate saw, right? Because like you can't be walking through the house with a body over your shoulder that's limp, and you can't be putting her in the car to drive around that early. Like, you're going to have to get the body out early. And I hate to refer to her like that. I'm just, just talking. Okay. You're going to have to get the body out of the house early enough to where neighbors don't see you, roommates don't see you, etc. So from my understanding, from what I've learned from this case so far, that was the McDonald's breakfast excuse. Okay, we're going to go get McDonald's. And that excuse was only solely for getting her out of the house early in the morning. Now, Jen just said they made they had the idea about going to McDonald's and made those plans the night before. So that would tell me that she definitely, I would think that she was deceased at that point, because you're trying to figure out how to get her out of the house without anybody seeing. And it was not normal. She even says special breakfast for McDonald's, and we know that it was just all stated as a way to get her out of the house. So then I have to question, did Jen know about it? I'm going to play that again just a little bit. We're taking it back just a smidge. Listen to that again. They made the plan for McDonald's the night before, which doesn't make sense, because the plan was made to cover up taking Maddie out of the house that early, or early enough so that he could put her in the car with nobody seeing.
Pretty sure he called me around 10:18.
Alex, I don't know how to do polls. It won't let me access my live while I'm live. But I can do it afterwards. I'll do a community poll.
To let me know that he didn't go to McDonald's as planned. He had asked her multiple times if she wanted to stop at McDonald's because that was the plan the night before. That they were going to wake up early. He was going to take her to McDonald's, do like a special McDonald's breakfast, and then drop her off at school early because she wanted to get there a little early.
See, that doesn't make sense because, again, the McDonald's plan, I'm speculating, was to get her body out of the house, but they made the plan the night before. So that tells me that she knew. Darla said, though, if she knew, wouldn't she have disposed of the other crock, which is a good point. So do you think that they really had the idea to go to McDonald's the night before? Like, but again, I mean, I go back to like Stefan coming to take her to school anyway when it wasn't done that often. Jen didn't have to work that day. So a lot of this doesn't make sense. But that night before is when they made the idea to go to McDonald's is sus to me. And I have circled it on my paper. Jen said, yeah, he went 5 times to the dumpsters. Okay. She's probably lying based on what Stephen Stearns told her. That's another question that I have. Is that just part of the script that they made up? And that's what, but to be fair, Stephen could have told her but this is the night before when Maddie would have been alive still. So why is it coming up as the night before when Maddie would have still been alive? Like if she had the plan, like if she's saying they made the plan to go there the night before to have a special breakfast, and we know pretty much, we can assume and speculate that was to get the body out of the house. Why is she saying that plan was made the night before? When Maddie would have still been alive.
But on his way to school, she was very sleepy.
I'm going to see if I can do a poll if my phone will let me access the live. It's still playing. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I thought it was
wanted
playing.
To sleep in the car. Mm-hmm. And she said she did not want to do McDonald's. She just wanted to be dropped off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also to let me know that he left his phone at home because I had called.
It won't let me access it, but I'll do a poll after the live, or you can put a 1 in chat if you think that Jen helped Stefan carry Maddie out to the car. I will never get the sight of Jen rubbing Stefan's back during that interview they did for the news. I knew right then Jen was part of this. I don't care what evidence they have or don't have. I'm with you, Jennifer, and thank you for being here. It's
question. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. What did she say she saw Stefan when she first woke up to help with the dog, or did she say no one was home?
She said that Stefan woke her up helping with the dog.
And that was 7, 8?
It was between 7 and 8. She said between 7 and 8, she's woke up by Stefan, trying to put the leash on the dog. And then she went back to sleep and woke up at 9. But then then it was 8 to 8:15.
And then what time? We don't know what time he left, huh?
Well, we know that he was at the dumpsters at 7:35.
So that fucking makes her shit not true.
Right. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That means that never happened because he was already gone.
Yeah. Unless she goes, unless he woke her up right at 7.
As he was leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this interview, she says he came in between 8 and 8:15.
But the problem with it's so close in time to 7 to 8 that it's easily explainable as a fuck up,
Right. Ashley said, do we know when Jen got home Sunday? Was it before or after Maddie and Stefan got home? I think it was after. Yeah, it would have been after they got home. Yeah, unless it was at 7.
That's interesting. I think that's like the key in figuring out if she was involved or not.
Yeah. Yep. J. Diaz said, she said that he woke her up to put the leash on the dog. However, there's no video of him walking the dog. Yeah, I think he went in there. I think he went in to get the croc. I think he was trying to get her Crocs without Jen knowing, and then was only able to get one because she woke up when he was trying, and he explained it away as trying to walk the dog. Was my thought on it.
Yeah.
And then she woke up and he wasn't able to get the other crock. But I don't know. And that would be if Jen didn't know. But now with her saying they planned to do the McDonald's thing the night before, I'm really sus because, I mean, that whole plan was made up, in my opinion, and what it seems like, to keep people from seeing him take Maddie out to the car.
Right, because he would have had to put Maddie in the car earlier, right? Because they would have had to see somebody do it if it was then. But then that also that could easily be he snuck her in there before Jen was awake and then woke her up, like you were saying. So
yeah. But why come up with it like if it was a special morning and you were going to leave super, like we know the only reason he left super early was to take her body to the car. So why are they saying the night before supposedly before Madeline's even deceased, that we're going to wake up super early and go super early? And
that's true.
For the McDonald's breakfast when Madeline's not deceased. Yeah.
That's true. So he would have, at the very least, he would have had to premeditate at that point that night that he was going to do it. And that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense because he would not have thought that far ahead, in my opinion. Like how,
correct.
Unless it was whatever was upsetting him Saturday night and he did plan all this shit out. But I don't know.
It would have had to be premeditated on his point, or it was already done the night before and she was involved.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Called him multiple times and he had picked up. He had left his phone at home by accident. He had went to the vape shop, but they didn't open on time, so he had waited for quite a while in front of the vape shop. They didn't open, so he left and came back and we hung out a little bit, and then I think he left again to the vape shop to go buy what he needed.
Okay.
All right, Darla is here, and she says either Stephen Stearns told Jen that and she believed it, or they told Madeline that because she didn't want Stephen taking her to school, because when you recall her referencing the car as a hoopty and all of that. And that is a possibility, but I still don't think, I mean, yeah, he could have said, I'll take her to get a special breakfast, and then, the murder happened and he already had the plan, like it already worked out because he had talked about leaving super early to take her to McDonald's. I still don't, I understand and respect that your opinion. And I do want to say that is a possibility for sure. I just find it really weird. And I'm leaning more towards either it was premeditated, which I don't think, or Jen knew, and that's the story Stefan's telling her to tell, or Madeline was already, she knew Madeline was deceased before that morning came, or, Madeline was already deceased when they came up with that plan.
Yeah, that's literally it. Either he premeditated it at that point that night and she was still alive and Jen's telling the truth, or she was already dead and Jen's involved. That's the only two ways.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Heather, if I haven't said hey to you, Heather said, Stephen, Maddie was your birthday present, you disgusting, heartless POS. Yeah. It's sad. There's so many, Darla. I like Darla, kind of brings us back down and tries to keep us so we can see all sides. So I really appreciate you and all of you that share your opinions. Okay, Jenny Jen, I'll check my email. Jenny Jen's got the timeline, so I'll check that for sure. And Darla
time of death. Sorry, I was just going to say time of death is everything when this gets to trial, and we don't know that. And if the police know the time of death already, then maybe that's also why they didn't arrest her.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah, that's possible. So yeah, there's so many possibilities in this case, and so much that doesn't make sense.
Do you want the name of the vape shop?
Yes.
Right.
Have it on top of your mind. I'm sure we're going to talk again soon, and we'll have more.
No, I'm just saying because that might be helpful if you want to see like surveillance or anything.
Okay, so at some point,
again, it's a weird thing for her to say. Like, she's trying to tell the cop, like, make sure the cop knows what vape shop he was at, and is like reiterating. I'm sorry, y'all. I was eating it. I shouldn't have been. I was eating candy. And reiterating that I just want you to know the name of the vape shop, basically, so that you can check for surveillance. Like, it seems to me like she really wants the cops to check the surveillance at the vape shop. And why are you so concerned about that when the cop's like, we'll talk again, I'll get it from you later. And she wants to make sure to tell that cop the vape shop so they can check the surveillance, when the surveillance is not even important at the time, because that was way after Maddie was supposedly dropped off. So it's weird to me. I mean, again, it makes me question whether there's a script and she's like going by the script and making sure, we like, make sure, like, some Stefan or her, like, make sure you mention the vape shop and I'll go there so that there's video surveillance and they can check that and see that I was there. You know what I mean? Indie girl, I hope you're not upset. Lisa Lee, thank you for being here. I think I said hey to you already. Lisa Lee said, oh, I lost the comment. Queen Olive said, exactly. I did the same thing when I became a single mom and my son was 2. I slept on a futon in the living room. Yeah, I've done that too. Okay, let me get it pulled up. We'll listen to this and I'll pull up the exact timeline. Hold on while we listen to this.
I understand he gets like a flat tire and he's not able to go with you to pick school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you get to the school, how do you realize that she wasn't there?
This is important.
So I usually leave around 2:30 to pick her up. She gets out of school at 4. So I wait it takes me about 20, 25 minutes to get to the school, and then I wait about an hour for her to get out. I waited the whole time. And then when the bell rang and then it was time for her to come out, she wasn't one of the first kids like she normally is. And I realized I was holding up the line because everyone behind me had children and they needed to get out because I was the first in line. So after about, I'm going to say, I think it was like 4:10, she didn't come out and I was holding up the line. So I drove away. I said, maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up that day, because I don't know if she knew that I wasn't working that day.
Okay, so far that matches up. Elaine said, I honestly think Jen is quite simple-minded and easily controlled by someone like Stefan, especially if she was zoned out on meds. I really appreciate you sharing that information. What do you think about the McDonald's things we just discussed? Like her mentioning the fact that, like, Maddie wanted McDonald's the night before, when we are pretty sure that was the plan Stefan came up with to get her body out of the house before anybody else would see. Real quick, I'm gonna share this timeline that my wonderful Jenny Jen made, and she said she's not finished with it yet, but this is what we have so far, and we're gonna compare it to the interviews. So Sunday, February 25th is Maddie's birthday party. 8:30, the aunt drops Maddie off. Monday, Maddie's missing. 7:30, he's seen on the complex camera with Maddie in the front seat of the car. 7:35, he's seen throwing trash away. Maddie's in the front seat. Red shirt and tan pants. 7:45, roommate Natalie typically leaves. 7:50, Stefan leaves apartment complex. Maddie's still in the front seat, slumped to the left. 8:19, Stefan re-entering apartment complex through the front gate. Maddie's still in the front seat. 8:31, now exiting the complex through the rear gate. So I've always questioned that. What did he go back to the house to get with her in the front seat? 9:40 a.m., he enters the Holiday Club parking garage. Maddie's still slumped over. So that's when he puts her in the trunk. Or 9:41, he makes it to the top. 9:42, he steps out of the car and opens trunk. 9:44, he leaves. And we're going to scroll down. I'll post this in the Discord so that you guys can have it. We're going to scroll down to Jen. Okay, so let's see. 2:11, his car is seen with a donut on the tire. 2:43, Steppen returns to the complex through the rear gate after he's unfortunately dumped Maddie. At 3:24, Steppen's at the dumpster. At 3:28, Steppen returns to dumpster. At 4:36, he's at the dumpster again. 5:36, Jen texts Maddie's third period teacher asking if Maddie made it. 5:43, he responds. 6:20, choir teacher asks Jen update. And then we go into the next day. Okay, so I'll share that on my Discord. Thank you, Jenny, for sharing that. And I'll pull back up the interview so we can continue on with that. Hold on just a minute. Jenny, we need to add what Jen was doing during the time period, like when she left to go to school and pick Maddie up and stuff like that. We got to add that to it. Thank you for that. That was really awesome.
I think you also need to add like a little emoji that says "just a minute." So cute.
Actually, I have an emoji in the memberships that says "just a minute," and it says "speculation station" on one of them.
We already have one. I'm so late. Oh my god! Everyone, become a member right now.
If you don't want to become a member, if you could just hit the thumbs up, that would help so much. Hold on just a minute. All right. Yeah, Abellis dropped it. Just a minute and speculation station. All right, we'll get back to this.
But I had assumed that she thought, she knew that I was going to go get her. So,
okay,
because she never came out, I left and I went. She works less than, let me say it's like a 3-minute drive from the school. It's very close. She works in the Hunters Creek Villages area. I drove that way, and I drove along the path that she would walk, and I didn't see her. And then office, I asked, "Hey, has she gotten here yet?" They said no, and I said, "Okay, let me wait a little bit." And I parked back again on Hunters Park Lane, I think, and I waited along that lane to see if I would see her walking.
Okay, so far this is all the same, accurate, or what she said yesterday. Abellis gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much for that. You're super supportive. That was super sweet of you. Thank you so much. And also, let me see. Linda became a member. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you guys doing that and being super supportive. I will play this for both of you. If you guys were gifted a membership from Abellis, please tell her thank you.
I'm gonna say something very scandalous.
Okay.
I don't think what's his name? Tim. What's his name? That guy who did that voice, the famous actor.
Oh, Lord, if you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
Oh my God, what is that movie where he talks to? No, where he talks to the soccer ball movie. No, no, it's not. I know my Robin Williams. No. Tom Hanks. Thank you, Tom Hanks. All of that was just to say I don't think Tom Hanks is a very good voice actor. God help me. Okay, continue.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him as far as his voice acting. Oh, hold on. Somebody said I'm not disputing.
I just instantly picture his face instead of that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Elaine said, I'm not disputing your timeline. I get it. I just think Jen is low IQ and you might be giving her more credit than she is capable of. I've questioned that though. And I've said, is she just dense and really doesn't understand? But then I question because she seems more diabolical. I think she wants us to think that she's not very smart and she's always zoned out on the meds. Right. because some of the stuff that we've talked about over here in the past live streams and stuff, it's hard to make it make sense. Saying that she didn't know. And like, for instance, I get things wrong, right? That's why I'm trying to go back through, and I want to play everything again and kind of write stuff down and take notes, because like the bipolar thing, for instance, yesterday, I was wrong about that, Maddie, and I've been wrong in other live streams. Maddie has not been diagnosed as bipolar, and I thought she had, but we went back through the interviews to see if we could find it, and found it. So, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to kind of figure it out too. Could I be wrong about Jen and she's really just zonked out on her meds? Like, I'm just trying to make it kind of fit. Like, we ran the scenario of, could Jen like really not have known about the CSAM and Madeline deceased? And we played the video with the officers questioning her on the couch, and we're just like, man, there's no way. Specifically because she mentions Maddie being in her trunk, not a trunk, and all of that. And I talk about in that one, like, you know, putting myself in her shoes, how it just doesn't make sense for her to ever think Maddie was in her trunk, but we know that she was. So that's kind of what we're doing. If you guys go ahead, babe.
I was just gonna say, I don't take bipolar meds, so I don't know their effect on people. I take 300 milligram Wellbutrin and Zoloft, like 100, and I know that I take that for like anxiety and depression, and it doesn't stop how I feel. It makes it like more like calmer, like it makes it easier to deal with. But I don't know if that's different with bipolar meds, where it like totally shuts you down emotionally. Because I could just say from my experience with regular antidepressants, it doesn't shut me down emotionally at all, but maybe bipolar does.
Yeah. I've been on lithium and mood stabilizers, and I did have an issue reacting to situations like I should have. It did shut me down emotionally, and that's another reason why I'm like, okay, like, could that be why? But there's so much that she shouldn't know that she admits to knowing.
Too many I dropped her off, he dropped her off shit.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. I wanted to say, hey, there was some, I just highlighted your comment. I missed your name. It looked German. But hey to you, Irene, and then that last name I assume is German. Thank you for being here.
And I didn't see her walking. And it was about 4:30, 4:35. At this point, she should have. So I went back to the office, and then I was like, "Is she here yet?" No, she hasn't gotten here. And I said, "Okay, hold on. Let me see." I called her best friend, and I was like, "Hey, are you?" I don't know if I told her I was picking her up from school today or to walk to the office, but I don't see her anywhere. And she goes, "No, she never came to school today. She didn't come to first or second period." And I said, "What do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. She should have walked to school."
Again, what do you mean we dropped her off close to school? She should have walked to school. Hey, no. Thank you for being here. So, and that's weird to me. Like, why are you making sure you tell everybody you come into contact with about the situation that you dropped her off close to school? Why isn't it that, what do you mean she didn't make it to school? Like, it could be nothing, but it just seems weird to me that she feels she needs to reiterate, number one, that I or we, when it was Stefan, and number two, dropped her off close to school and she was supposed to walk.
The only thing it explains is like purposely manipulating the truth, or you're just really that stupid, and I don't think she is.
I don't either. Lisa, do we all agree she'd ever went to the school office? I think she claims she did, and I haven't been able to dispute that yet. Now, if the police show me that she's not on camera and going into the school office, then I'll know. But so far, she has stated that in the interviews, both interviews so far, that she went in the morning. I mean, not in the morning, right after Maddie was missing, and then they go back in after she has mom with her, after she drove to see if she saw her walking, supposedly.
Hey, y'all, I gotta jump down. I just wanted to say bye real quick.
Okay, Shaboogies, thank you for coming up. I really appreciate it.
Adore you. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you have a good day, love. Roxanne said Jen Soto played the government like a fiddle for loans, and again, to not pay them back legally. I'm the dumb one, not her. I would feel that way too. I haven't been able to verify for sure about the PPP loans, so I don't know much about that. The only thing that I've found out so far is that she did have a dog business, and I really haven't validated that either. I've heard that she had a dog walking business or dog sitting business, but that was before COVID, so I don't know. Veronica said Stefan's mom said Jen was high all the time and could even see it because she and Stefan were on FaceTime, Google Meet, and she could see her high as a kite. That's interesting. Hey, Ever Protected. We heard it right now. She was talking about her mom's office. Let's see. Let's take it back. I think she's talking about the school office because she said yesterday she drove to mom's office, picked mom up. They went back to the school and went in the office, but the school was closed, but they still were able to get in or something. Because I found it weird that they went to the office after the school, or that the school was closed that soon after supposedly letting kids out.
Lane, I think. And I waited along that lane to see if I would see her walking. And I didn't see her walking. And it was about 4:30, 4:35. At this point, she should have. So I went back to the office. And then I was like, is she here yet? No, she hasn't gotten here. And I said, okay, hold on. Let me see. I called her best friend. And I was like, hey, are you... I don't know if I told her I was picking her up from school today or to walk to the office, but I don't see her anywhere. And she goes, no, she never came to school today. She didn't come to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. She should have walked to school. She goes, no, she never made it to any of her periods. And I said, can you please check with your other friends in your other classes to see if she ever made it? She got back to me and said, no. At this point, I started to panic because I realized something was wrong. I emailed one of her teachers, a few of her teachers actually, and one of them responded to me. He said she didn't make it to his...
Okay, this is weird. I just picked up on this. She says at 4:30 or 4:35 they went back to the office, but Grandma said yesterday that at 4:30 to 4:30 she's at Mom's office. So that would make me think, like Lisa said, that she was at Mom's office instead of the school office, but she references walking into the office to see if she made it. So maybe she was at Mom's office because Mom said that she got there between 4:30 and 4:40, and she just said, I got to the office at 4:30 to 4:35. She went back to the office to see if she had made it and was told no. So she could be referencing Grandma's office with that. That's what works with the timeline. Then she called Bestie and they went back to the school office. And then, of course, she emailed the teacher at, I think I've got it written down as 5:35 or 5:36.
To his period at all, and he checked all her other classes, and she didn't make it to school at all. That's when I knew something was truly wrong. And I'm not before that email or after that email. But I started panicking and freaking out because she should have been to school. She should have made it.
And then I understand she forgot her phone, right?
Yeah.
Is it common for her to not have her phone?
Yes. She's got ADHD. She's super forgetful. She doesn't even...
That it's common for her to forget her phone. And the cops say it's not common for her to forget her phone. That's interesting to me. She commonly forgets phone. Let me write that down. But the police say that she always has her phone because they could check the history. And she never leaves her phone at home. See, it's like when you add that with the McDonald's comment, I'm like, I don't know. Overprotected, I'm glad you're doing good, honey. I hope you are. Veronica said, oh no, the potato slept all day and night. Meanwhile, her entire family and entire police department didn't sleep looking for Maddie. Yeah, that's what they say. Linda said, at this point, her daughter's missing, never made it to school, and she's chatting like it's not a big deal. I would be out of my mind screaming and crying. I think most of us would. I do. Lie. The cop said it's not according to the records. Yeah, talking about the phone. Yeah, it's not common according to the records. She never leaves her phone at home.
And she never realizes that she's in the shower for a whole hour. She loses track of time. She's very
And then you guys went looking for her, right?
Yes.
Where did you look? Like, did you drive somewhere? Did you walk? Like, where did you go look for her?
Okay. So, after her best friend called me, actually, or I talked to her best friend on the phone.
Lisa said both times she's talking about her mom's office, but I can see how it sounds confusing. That's because Jen is trying to confuse people. I agree. I could see that. I think she says, though, at 4:10 she goes into the school office and they call her on the intercom. I can check that again with the first interview if I need to. But I might have just assumed she was talking about the school's office, so I'm not sure. Miss Jim Morrison said, remember Jen said she had her phone on silent, so she didn't realize the school called in the AM to let her know Maddie was out of school. I didn't remember hearing that. I need to find that interview and validate that. Thank you for letting me know. Artemis Prime, thank you for being here. Says, question, if the church parking lot was safe enough to drop Maddie off, expecting her to walk early all the way to school, but she never made it, how did Jen not suspect Stefan? Good question and good point. And again, it's weird that she dropped her off at the school, at the church parking lot, because Grandma said that kids would get picked up there after hanging out, but nobody ever references specifically dropping kids off there, like in the morning.
I went back to the school to see. Let me check her official attendance. Let me see what's going on. They were already closed. Nobody was at the school. So I searched by backtracking into the school.
So there was people at the school because Grandma says that kids were outside playing. So I'm going to write that down. She says nobody's at school when she goes back, but Grandma said the kids were doing after school activities. Okay.
And then coming back out and seeing that there were no kids at the school at all. So then I drove office. Everything was driving. And then I think that response from her teacher at that point. But
did you come back to the apartment at any point yesterday once you realized she was missing?
Stefan was at home waiting for us to get back. And then when I told him something was wrong, she never made it to school, he completely hauled it back to me. And then we all stood there waiting for the cops to show up, and they didn't show up till like 7:30. It took them a while to respond. I think they were looking for other missing kids around the area too.
Good question.
But yeah, no, we did not come back home until we were done with the police. We were done with everything.
So she does say she drove around where she would have walked, and the kids, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm going to take it back because I do need to figure out why she didn't go to the area where the child was supposedly last seen or dropped off, if she didn't. So I'm going to replay that where she's talking about where she drove, because that would be odd. I need to validate that real quick. Let's see.
I went back to the school to see. Let me check her official attendance. Let me see what's going on. They were already closed. Nobody was at the school. So I searched by backtracking into the school and then coming back out and seeing that there were no kids at the school at all. So then I drove office. Everything was driving. And then I think that response from her teacher at that point. But
so she does say backtrack. She says, I backtracked all the way to the school. So it is possible that she meant she backtracked from the church to the school. So I can't say for sure, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she went to the church either. So I can't say for sure in that. Buzzard, thank you for being here, says the school story doesn't make sense. The timeline suggests Jen was panicking that Maddie was missing, even though the timeline during school pickup is less than an hour. Yeah. So she waited 10 minutes and then went to an office, I assume was the school office, because Grandma says she got there at 4:30 to 4:35 at that office. So that's only about 30 minutes, but it wouldn't take that long to figure out if your child was not at school that day. And if she's usually the first one out and she hasn't been out in 10 minutes, you might go in and check. just to be fair all the way around.
Did you come back to the apartment at any point yesterday once you realized she was missing?
Stefan was at home waiting for us to get back.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I told him something was wrong, she never made it to school, he completely hauled it back to me. And then we all stood there waiting for the cops to show up, and they didn't show up till like 7:30.
Okay, let's skirt for a minute. So she asked, did you go to the house? Which again would be a normal reaction. Did you go back to the apartment to see if she was there? She says no. And then she says Stefan was there, which I assumed she was going to say Stefan was there. And so she arrived back. He would have called me and told me, because that's a normal reaction. But no, she says Stefan was there. I told her she didn't make it. And he hauled ass to be with me while we waited for the cops, leaving nobody at the house, nobody at the apartment in case Maddie came back. And you didn't check there to see if she was there? That's weird. How do we know Maddie wasn't at the house? Who was going to be there to see if she came back there? That's weird.
It took them a while to respond. I think they were looking for other missing kids around the area too. But yeah, no, we did not come back home until we were done with the police. We were done with everything. There was nothing else for us to do except come back.
Where was her phone when all of this was happening?
With me.
How did you get the phone if you never came back here?
I took it with me to go pick her up from school. I was going to give it to her when she got in the car and be like, listen, you forgot your phone again, and let her play on it.
Uh-huh.
I'll do that sometimes when she forgets.
So, again, I mean, that seems like it could be possible, but the cops said she never forgot her phone. Artemis, I'm not blaming the cops. I'm sorry if you thought I was. I don't mean to sound that way. Hey, Hazel Eyes. Lisa said, what interview does Jen say they announced it on loudspeaker? Because I didn't hear it in this interview. I think it's in the one before this, the very first one where she recaps the day, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure. And what was Stephen Stearns doing at Jen's house? Like, did Jen tell him to check all rooms first? He might have, Diamond Girl, that's a good point. He might have said check the house, but still he left the house immediately and came to be with her while they waited on the cops. So who's at the house in case Maddie comes back? Stephen was there because he didn't make it back in time to ride with her to go pick Maddie up, supposedly. I know.
That I bring the phone with me and I just give it to her afterwards. But I had brought it with me to go pick her up from school.
Okay. And you works where?
Just giving the address.
I won't get you the address exactly. Yeah.
And then, did you at any point check her phone out while you had it?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Okay. Actually, I started looking, but I could not concentrate on reading anything. I was too panicked and too worried. I handed the phone to my sister.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one, and my niece. They both started going through her texts. I saw her texts. Mm-hmm. Nothing seemed weird. No weird random people. Everyone is someone I was familiar with or had heard of.
This part's weird to me because I can almost guarantee there were some kind of text messages between her and Stefan, considering how much they talked. And you mean to tell me that you pulled deleted messages and still saw nothing sus from Stefan, especially considering the parent coins that Madeline texted Stefan and said we should get these? You didn't see that, but yet you're telling me you pulled all her deleted messages and you didn't see anything suspicious? I'm not believing that those two never said anything intimate between the text messages, in the text messages between them. I have a problem believing that. Bazard said, Jen screwed herself with these interviews. So many inconsistencies, and yet she decides to advise Stephen Stearns to get him a lawyer instead of herself. Shaking my head, she thinks she can outsmart everyone. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, is she really that diabolical, or is it just, or is she really zoned out on medication to that point? Her hatred does ooze out of her. I mean, in my opinion. And why did they wait all those hours at the mom's office for the cops? Yeah, I think I would have went to the police station at that point, and I've always thought that, like, if they're not coming, I'm gonna go to the police station and be like, "Look here, my child's missing. You need to do something. Like, somebody needs to do something. I can't sit here and wait for hours while y'all get your shit together and come take my statement or whatever you need to do. I need somebody looking for my child right damn now." Like, that would be my thought. Hey, Tanya.
About they checked her Roblox, they checked her Discord. I checked her Discord as well. There was nothing weird. One of the police officers taught me to look at deleted text messages. We looked at those as well. They were random text messages deleted. They weren't anything.
Do you remember where you were when you were looking at her phone?
Yes.
Which is where?
Let me see.
Hey, Army Mom. Again, I don't believe there was no messages between her.
Is it okay if I call her?
Yes.
Okay.
And then while she answers, were you guys, when you guys were looking for her, did you guys keep looking for her in the Hunters Creek area or somewhere else?
Hunters Creek area.
Okay. Did you guys come back here at any point?
No.
What time did you guys come back home?
Hold on a second.
Why are you not going back home to see if she made it back home? I have a question. All the parents that don't look for their children that went missing have been guilty. Lori Vallow didn't look for her kids. Yeah. I have questions. Absolutely. Thank you for being here, Army Mom. Okay, it's playing.
What time did we come back? That was a very good question. I was going to say it was like somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock p.m.
Did you guys go back out after that?
Stefan went back out.
And this was last night, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where was after this?
With me.
Okay. Did you leave the house at any point with her phone after this?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
Hold on. No, I think it's been home all day today, too.
It's been home all day today?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
What time did the police take her phone?
Oh, just kidding. Yeah, they took it. I don't have it anymore. What time did he take the phone? I've made so many phone calls.
There's that just kidding again. That's always been super weird to me. Flora W said, when will we see Jen on Dr. Phil? I don't know if she's going to do that. Army Mom said, I have always wondered why she doesn't say at least, quote, play the part of, or why she doesn't at least play the part of a desperate parent. You would think she would want to play along such a dope. I think she tried. Like, if I'm just giving my honest opinion, I think she tried and was not very good at it. Hey, Zan.
Today, and seen so many people today that
was it light out or dark out?
It was light out. It was still Detective Hunt still yeah, it was during the daytime.
And then but other than that, her phone was here all day.
In the morning, yes.
Did you guys take the phone anywhere other than when Detective Hunt took the phone?
I think it's been home all day. I don't think I left the house with her.
Okay. Did Stefan have access to the phone?
I'm sorry, I took my medicine, so I feel a little species. I think I've had it with me. I think it's been with me.
Okay. Did you go through her phone today?
Yes.
Okay. Where was that at?
Here.
And what were you looking for at that time?
To see if there was anything else. What we couldn't access on Monday night was rope.
So this is going to be important. This is the part I have a problem with. I don't know if you heard me, Zam, but I said, hey, and thank you for being here. This is where I have questions. Okay, so let's listen intently.
Blocks. So my niece came over and logged into her Roblox and checked out messages. But then they were also, my sister was also looking for her phone to see if there was anything.
Here at the house?
Yes.
And that was today?
Yes.
Okay, do you guys have her account information as far as like her iCloud and all that stuff? Or is it just on her phone?
I've had a hard time logging into it before when I was trying to get her a new phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if I can log in to her iCloud.
So that makes it sound like, and I don't remember exactly if she admits that she did log into it, but taking that into account, I would assume that since you couldn't log in to the iCloud when you were trying to get her a new phone, you wouldn't be doing it today. Like, you might try to, but I don't think you would have gotten access to it, right? Like, that's what it sounds like to me, right? Let me know if I'm wrong. But she just said, I tried to log into it when we changed her phones and I couldn't log into it.
I think it's all on her phone.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because they took the phone and they downloaded it, right? They can see like if somebody tries to access her accounts and stuff like that. So if you guys do have access to anything, if you guys can refrain from like logging back in.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So it doesn't look like
Okay, so that's a big issue for me. I'm going to back it up and we're going to listen to the whole thing unedited, or, I'm not going to stop it because I'm trying to catch if she just admitted to logging into the iCloud after she told the officer she had trouble doing that. Because I think that she logged in and was deleting pictures and text messages to keep people from knowing about the messages and pictures from Stefan. Darla said probably because Stefan changed Madeline Soto's iCloud password. Very possible. Very possible. I mean, that's an accurate assumption to make. I think that's a good speculation.
To see if there was anything else. What we couldn't access on Monday night was Roblox. So my niece came over and logged into her Roblox and checked out messages. But then they were also, my sister was also looking for her phone to see if there was anything.
Here at the house?
Yes.
And that was today?
Yes.
Okay, do you guys have her account information as far as like her iCloud and all that stuff? Or is it just on her phone?
I've had a hard time logging into it before when I was trying to get her a new phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if I can log in to her iCloud. I think it's all on her phone.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because they took the phone and they downloaded it, right? They can see like if somebody tries to access her accounts and stuff like that. So if you guys do have access to anything, if you guys can refrain from like logging back in.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So it doesn't look like if she tries to like access her accounts from like somewhere else, that way we can track that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So they're asking if you can, just try not logging into any more of her accounts so that when he's going through the phone, it doesn't look like she's trying to log on from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else that they wanted us to clarify?
Okay. So the police have already downloaded the phone and Jen's trying to access Roblox and things like that, but she knows the police already have the information, right? So what is she trying to access and get rid of, look at, or whatever after the police have already taken the phone and downloaded it? Like, the police have the information, ma'am. Why are you fucking with the phone? Just like the cop says. unless she's trying to delete stuff. And I don't think the cop would ask specifically about the iCloud information unless Jen was, or somebody who had Maddie's phone was accessing the iCloud information. I think she's trying to make herself sound stupid here too. I think because again, the friend references pictures of Stefan being in the group chat, and then after he gets arrested, they're no longer there. Hey, Lollipop Girl, it's good to see you. Veronica, if you got something going on and I missed it, hun, I'm sorry, and I hope whatever's going on gets better. Hey, y'all, I found your channel and just subbed up upon you because I'm interested in the case, but I couldn't find anybody that was talking about it. Oh, there's a lot of people talking about it, but I'm glad you've found us and became part of our Speculating family by hitting that subscribe button. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Miss Jim Morrison said, plus Jen only paid $400 for her room. She can't pay her dad for Maddie to have her own bedroom cheap when the roommates are paying over $800. She didn't have privacy. You know, that's another thing. Like, I'm like, why? Like, Juan owned the house. And so I would think since he adored Maddie, like everybody says, he would want Maddie to have her own room. But then I take into account, they talk about the GoFundMe to raise money for a reward because they think Maddie's missing. And maybe they really were broke. Like, maybe it really was a thing of, no, I need rent from like all the rooms. You know what I mean? Hey, Queen Olive was saying, hey, to Lollipop. Laura said Stefan has lied to his parents his entire life for them not to realize this is sick, especially knowing now everything that has been retrieved from the phone and computer and hard drive. Wow. I think they know it's sick. I think they just love their child and can't just like throw him out in the street and not help him at all, you know?
Did you find the address to your...
Sorry, let me call her again.
Or what's the name of it?
Oh, if I could remember her business name, I don't know.
What kind of business?
It's an insurance business.
How do you not know your mom's business?
I think Advanced Insurance something group.
Good question.
And then I know that you've been with us for the most part of the day, right? Yes. We have, I want to say maybe like 40 people out here, okay? Between us and Kissimmee. And we're all, going to be working basically overnight and throughout the day tomorrow until we, okay? Tonight, what we're going to do is, I know we already secured your house, right? We asked everybody to leave. So another thing that I'm going to ask is if you guys can find somewhere else to stay for the night, because we're going to have Kissimmee out here at your apartment for the rest of the night, because the people that come and like take pictures and all that other stuff are not going to respond until the morning.
Hey, Shay. It's good to see you. Shay said, yeah, they may love him, but he doesn't love them. Stephen Stearns does not love his parents. He used them, said they were 1 foot in the grave, and said he came back to help them. Meanwhile, he was sucking them dry. You're right.
Okay. So nobody can go into the house for the rest of the night until the house gets, we need to take pictures and do other stuff with the house. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. And unfortunately, because you guys have such a big apartment, it's not something that only one person does. Like, we don't do that, right? We have our forensics unit come out. And it's not something that one person can do by herself. So she has to wait until people come in, because they're on call after midnight, right? So she has to wait for the other people to come in the morning, and then they're all going to come in as a unit and try to get it done as quick as possible. Okay. I need to go back into the house. Mm-hmm. I have medication that I have to take in order to be like normal. Mm-hmm. Is there a possibility that I can go back in there and get my meds? Yes.
It bothers me that she's told forensics is taking over the house. I mean, we know what forensics is. She does too, because she mentions that she thought that she told Stefan that something was going on because they put forensics in the house. I'm not going to say that. I thought she said they figured something out because they sent forensics in, but I'm not positive about that. But she knows something's up. I know that for a fact through one of her other interviews. She references the fact that forensics is taken over and she thinks the cops know something. I will say, I'm pretty sure that's what she said. And then, so at this point in her mind, forensics is taken over. There's something deeply troubling about that, and the first thing you're worried about is your meds. I pushed play.
Give me a few minutes, and then we'll try to figure out how we can get your medication. Okay, but that's something that we can definitely get. Okay. Does it make sense what I'm telling you?
Yes. I just don't know what we're gonna do about finding a place to go, but okay.
And then because lost in Stefan's car, we're also gonna tow his car.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions about anything that I'm telling you?
I would have some.
Okay, so from now on, it'll probably be me getting in touch with you, okay? Not Detective Hunt. Okay? Okay. Do you understand everything that we discussed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get your direct number?
Yes.
Job address, if I remember it correctly, is 13550 Village Park Lane, Suite 125. In Orlando, Florida.
That's in Hunters Creek. Hunters Creek, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Village Park Drive, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
And 13550.
Yes.
Is that like an apartment complex?
It's a business building? I don't know. It's a building with a lot of business and offices inside.
Rachel, she is nervous about them towing his car, but not the fact that forensics is there is how I picked up on that too, and that is odd. Boomer said she doesn't even ask why her home's being searched by forensics. Why? Yeah, like that would be my first question. Why is my home being searched by forensics? Like, what do you think happened in there? Like, but no, she's got no questions for them because, in my opinion, allegedly speculating, she already knows the answers to all of her questions.
And when did you say you were there?
I got there around 4. Well, see, I left and came back. So 4:45. I got there, and I think
She's talking about her mom's office.
And I stayed until they had left.
Were you there today? Is there one would be anywhere near that area today?
Ooh.
No, I don't think so. It's been.
She just asked, were you at your mom's, basically the mom's office today? She says no, and then they ask why Madeline's phone would have been near that office today. I never caught that before.
Oh, Detective Hunt went back to that office. I'm so sorry, and he had her phone.
Okay.
He had her phone at that time.
Yeah.
Why did he go back to that office?
Because my uncle had walked the path along the trail, and he had found the wallet with not an ID, but like credit cards and something that had somebody's state on it. So he went to pick it up to see if it was of any interest.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you my business card. I'm still here for a little bit longer. I'm gonna talk to Stefan one more time. There was like a few things that we needed to clarify with him, and then
Darla said, but if she did something, don't you think at this point she'd call an attorney? And that's a great point. Number one, I don't know that she hasn't, but yes, I would think she would call an attorney. But that takes me back to Stefan. Like the ex testified or said in his interview that she called him trying to help get Stefan an attorney. So therefore, does she know Stefan's done something wrong? And is that why she's trying to get him an attorney? Like, at the very least, even if she wasn't involved, the fact that she's trying to get him an attorney would say that she knew what was going on, especially if I take into consideration, like what you just said, but if she did something, don't you think at this point she'd call an attorney? Well, maybe she didn't do anything, and that's why she's not calling an attorney for herself, but she knew that Stefan did something, so that's why she was so adamant about getting him an attorney. Yes, welcome to all the new members. Thank you for subbing up and for supporting. And if you wouldn't mind, please hit the thumbs up. It helps us get into algorithms so more people can find out who we are. Miss Jim Morrison says she's like, but if I had to guess how the crime happened, we pushed, she ironically says, how it could have happened and likely how it did. Why offer immunity to a person that's giving you zero? Yeah, I think the immunity was try to get her to talk, but then she didn't. Heather, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. I really appreciate that, or super chat. That is super sweet and supportive of you. Heather said, I think while she was sedated, she aspirated and vomited. That's possible speculation as to how she could have died that night. And thank you for sharing that. And thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate that. Rachel said no, she might think that it makes her look suspicious. If she thought it would make her look suspicious, why is she telling Stefan to get an attorney and to lawyer up immediately? Like, not that I'm disagreeing with you. That would be my next question. And then lastly, real quick, Darla said, I just think like Stefan Stern's parents wanted to believe he's not a monster. Jen Soto wanted to believe the same. I think it's definitely possible. It's possible. Yeah. Because you wouldn't want to think that.
We're gonna, like, me physically, after I get done talking to Stefan, I'm gonna try to go get rest, right? Because we're gonna continue to do all this. Yeah. There's other detectives that are coming from my unit. Okay. So like there's always gonna be somebody here. Okay. So just because I physically am not here, don't think that we're not physically working on this. We have a lot of people in our unit, right? So we're taking like shifts. And then the people we have violent crimes out here as well. And they're here till 4 a.m. So I don't want you to think that like, just because I'm leaving, that we're not still actively working on this.
Good point. Lisa Lee said, can that break a bone from vomiting? No, not unless it was like some kind of awful projectile vomiting. And we do know that her hyoid bone was broke, or at least one side of it was.
Does that make sense? Yeah. Like they are here till 4 a.m. And then the day shift people that also work violent crimes come in around that same time. So they're going to take over. So like we have like people working till a certain time and then other people coming and taking over. Okay. So like I said, just because I physically am not here doesn't mean that we're not still working on something. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Real quick, I don't remember if Detective Tacker asked, but yesterday when you guys were out looking, do you remember what time you were out looking till?
So yesterday,
got shaky.
I stayed in the office. My family went out searching.
Which office?
1355. Yeah.
You stayed until what time?
I'm gonna say somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock. I left and then I came home.
You came straight here.
Yeah.
And then who was out? Your family was out looking?
Yeah, but I think they all stopped when. Actually, I'm not sure. One of my uncles might have kept searching along the trail, but I'm not sure until what time he was out.
Again, why is it her family searching and it's not her? Alex said we have to remember that Jen is not a reliable narrator, referencing when she talks about what she and Stefan were saying to each other. Okay. Hey, Believe. Starting your sentences with so is sus, says believe. Thank you for being here.
My dad as well.
What about Stefan?
Stefan went out sometime in the middle of the night and went searching, cruising around to see if he could figure out where she might be.
What car was he driving?
My car.
Was anybody driving Stefan's car?
No, just Stefan.
And what time was he out?
Hey, Colleen.
I have no idea. I fell asleep. But I know he drove my car because when I got into it, I said, "Oh, the seat's adjusted. Did you drive my car?" He goes, "Yeah, remember I said I was going to take a drive tonight to go search for her because he does have like insomnia. He can't sleep at night sometimes, and especially like that's what's going on right now."
Now, you notice how she responded quickly to that. She was real quick about that. You know, I was asleep, but I know he drove my car because the seat was moved back. She was animated. She responded quickly. So I think that was an accurate statement. I don't think she was lying in that statement. And it was an accurate statement because he did drive her car that night. But I think it's possible that she really didn't know because of the way she answers that question specifically. But I know he drove my car because the seat was moved back. That's interesting. Like, I mean, the more I listen to these, it's like the more I can tell when she's lying and when she's not by how animated she becomes.
But I'm not sure what time he may have come in or out. But if you guys look at my gate clicker, you need that to come in the front gate. You can see what times he may have come in and out.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else for you. We're going to clear some things with Stefan, and then I will let you know before I head out. Okay? Do you promise everything you said today is true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Ending the recording at 009.
We're going to listen to the interview with Grandpa to get the account of where Maddie's money was that night, and that'll be it for me today. Miss Holmes, these are the interviews that are on my channel. What this is basically I submitted a FOIA request to get everything I could about this case, and I continue to submit them even now. That's how I'm able to get other things. So what I did was I submitted the FOIA request. They sent me back these audios and documents and things like that. And then I put them on my page and I share them with you. And these audios, I don't edit them or in any way, shape, or form. I basically make a video and I put the audio in as the music because it gives me an option to add music to my videos on my video thing, like CapCut, and I was using VN. And then so I use that as like basically the music or the audio because that's what it is. It's audio.
In this audio,
And
we're going to hear several things of importance. The first of which being there is a child that Stephen.
okay. And I put like pictures in the background and things like that. So that's all it is. It's audio with pictures and things to look at while you listen to the audio. And see, it shows me on here.
This is the interview with Juan.
Right here, this is my live right now. Like I can access it here, but I can't access it from my phone, which is weird to me. So I need to figure that out because supposedly I have memberships I could give out. Maybe we can try it after this. So we're going to listen to this to try to get the accurate account about did she take her money home or not. And we'll continue on listening to Jen's interviews and finding all of the things that we can account for as not being valid.
The grandfather
okay,
and
Mom, have a
Stephanie,
good day.
I believe, the sister. I had been looking for this video everywhere, and then one of my mods reminded me that it was in this video here. So here you go.
Is it a, could you take it out for me? I don't want to take your whole wallet. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you. And, you guys from here, or did you just hear about it and come over?
We live 5 minutes away.
Right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm staying with her. And I just yesterday we were printing flyers, we were passing them out.
I'm gonna pull you guys into the shade. Do you have a handicap tag?
No.
Okay.
So they're about to move the car, but so far we find out that the person with one is who he's living with at the time, which I believe is Jen's sister. People have told me it's the half sister, Letitia or something like that, but it's whoever one is staying with at the time. Sweetheart, I am praying that the truth comes out too. I'm praying Maddie gets justice.
You want to move it? Just I don't want anybody to come out that needs it, sure. And we're blocking that.
It's already gone.
Here you go. Cheers. Cheers, sir.
Herbert Bunmeister's the name.
And Stephanie gets phone number for you.
Yeah, she says Stephanie. Right there. I'm sorry. Because people were correcting me and saying it was Letitia. But right there, she says Stephanie. So I think it is Stephanie. Let's listen again real quick. Oh, crap. I didn't take it far back enough. Hold on.
And Stephanie, a good phone number for you.
Stephanie, a good phone number for you. She literally just said, Stephanie, a good phone number for you. So I think it is Stephanie and one. They're getting last names, Stephanie Soto, I think. These are pictures of the house, by the way, inside the house. Letitia made the calls.
And how did who notified you guys that she was missing?
I got home one day afternoon. My mom called me and she started asking me like if I knew.
Okay, I was hoping to grab that. So this is Maddie's room, okay? And if you look at this partition right beside this pink blanket or towels, whatever it is, you can see the window, light from the window shining through the holes right there in the partition. And then Maddie says that Stefan likes to sit on the couch and eat all the food, okay? And if you look where this box is, there's a blue couch. Is that the couch Stefan sat on and ate all the food? Because that's weird to me. Like, if Stefan was sitting right there watching this child in her room change, talk on the computer or whatever she was doing. And again, why is only this side, like, you can see through it over here, while this side has something over it so you can't see through it? Why is this side not made like this one where we can't see through it so the child could have privacy? Thank you.
We immediately went around and checked.
Aside from Jen and your mom, have you talked to anybody else?
No. Our families we're staying close to all the time. We're sending out any information that we know.
And nobody's heard from that.
So I know it's hard to hear. There's a train driving by here and the wind's blowing, but basically they're just asking, have you talked to anybody else about Maddie being missing? They're talking about putting flyers out and things like that.
Do you have any cousins or anything that she's close with?
Yeah, we have a lot of cousins, but we've reached out again, nothing.
Haven't heard from her. Do you guys know of any boyfriends, anything like that? Girlfriends?
As far as we know, no.
Okay.
She does gaming, so we told the detective about like her Roblox.
Right.
I think she has Instagram.
Okay, so you guys have spoken with the detective?
Very, very little, but yes.
Okay. She was trying to reach somebody. And, what did you call
Detective Hunt.
Okay, gotcha.
We just want to be kept informed.
Yeah, no, 100%.
We haven't heard anything. Like in 2 days, it's been nothing.
Yeah, we are working on a lot of stuff. We don't talk about the process. And I know that that's annoying, but we have reasons for that, and we want to make sure that we do everything 100% right the whole time. Here's my business card. We are going to be here for a little bit. We can't really provide you with more information, but by all means, if you guys come up with anything that you want us to know,
of course, yeah.
Email is probably best because the other number is a desk phone, and obviously we're not there. But if you shoot me an email, it'll come to this phone, and I can check it. Okay.
How do we go about maybe getting a funding for a reward or something? Maybe somebody saw something and they'll come out.
Okay, so a lot of people had a problem with this, him asking about the GoFundMe, but again, he immediately says it's for a reward. Maybe somebody saw something and they'll speak if you give a reward. So I think that's 100% the reason he was talking about a GoFundMe. I don't fault him about that. So Kalisa says they talk about Maddie not taking her money when she left, as in when she went missing, so she wouldn't have money to pay for a bus ticket, etc. Okay, so it could be just me thinking that she was talking about when she left her grandma's house. I could have it wrong. We're going to listen and see if I can figure that out, because I always want to be accurate and validate everything. So we're going to see what we can validate here. Hey, Elizy or LZ, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Flora, I hope you're okay, and make sure you keep track of that.
Out and anonymously say, you know what?
Yeah.
How do we do that?
If you're trying to do it on a level as like a GoFundMe for the family, that's something that you guys have to do. Yeah, we can't participate in that.
Right. But do you have anything else?
We're working on our end to see. So there's certain criteria that has to be met for different things, like Amber Alerts and stuff like that. And that's stuff that we're working on. Unfortunately, it's not up to us, right? Like if we could, we would put one out for everybody because we get a lot of help that way. So, but it is being worked on in the back end. But by all means, if you guys want to start a GoFundMe, you can. I will tell you this. Typically, if we can't stop you guys from doing anything like that, typically the more that stuff gets out into the media, the harder it makes it for us, right? Sometimes that's how it works. But by all means, I can't tell you that. I really can't. It's just what happens with the media sometimes is they put information out there that's not accurate, and that can sometimes hurt our investigation. But again, I can't tell you. You guys do what you feel you need to do as a family. We're going to be doing everything on our end for you guys. By all means.
I don't know if I might have been muted, but I said, Abellis, we love you. I was checking and I knew you weren't talking about us leaving you out. Yeah, bad girl. A lot of people have said that, but it was a GoFundMe to raise money for a reward when they thought Maddie was missing. So I didn't want to talk crap about him for that, because it was specifically to raise a reward in case somebody saw something.
Communicate with us if you come up with anything. Like I said, we'll be here for a few hours. You have Detective Hunt's information, you have my information, and you can always just call the sheriff's office and say, I need to speak
bug you every day. And
you can bug me every day. You can bug me
Last
every
question.
day. Mm-hmm.
This is what frustrates me. 8 hours. It took us
8 hours for what?
The school didn't notify. She'd never.
What is the procedure for school?
I'm not typically, from what I know with.
So this is saying that they were not notified for 8 hours by the school that she didn't make it. All right, I'm going to start this. I was writing that down.
Orange County Public Schools, and again, I can't really speak on their procedures because we don't work for them. But it was my understanding that they typically send out like text to parents or something.
At least something or a phone call.
Yeah,
your kid is not here the first period.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell us that she's sick?
Yeah, that's something that you should bring up to them. And I don't know if it's an automated system or how that works and how the text messages go out or what Jen may have set up with them. If it, like, I don't know if some people can choose email, some people choose phone calls, some people choose text. But unfortunately, we can't speak on Orange County Public Schools.
So yeah, when I saw this, it really made me feel like that it definitely was rented out for people, because you see this person has like their microwave, their little refrigerator, so they don't even have to leave the room. So it does seem accurate that they were renting the rooms. I'm going to assume that's Brooklyn Deb. Brooklyn Deb says, I believe the baby comment was made by the officer in regards to the dog. This was the night Jen Soto had to go to the hotel. Just my opinion. Okay, thank you for sharing that. I think it's possible, because we couldn't see what she was referencing when she said that. So it's definitely possible.
Yeah. I just know that typically, like I was just speaking to another parent reference a situation like this, and they got
Barry.
My thought process is 8 hours.
Yeah.
She's in Georgia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But she's at the port.
Right.
This is the way that I think.
Yeah. Do you guys know anything she would have been upset about or anything?
No, Sunday she had a great birthday. She was happy.
Great birthday.
Like, she got a whole bunch of gifts. She had a lot of money. She didn't take any money with her.
Right.
Like, if she was like, trying to run away.
Yeah.
We were cleaning the backyard. Poop.
Right.
We were
Okay, so they reference her getting a lot of gifts as well. Says she was super happy. Says she didn't take any money with her if she was trying to leave, and then the statement drops off. So it's very possible that they're not saying money was left at grandma's house. They could be saying she didn't take the money with her, as in when she ran away. But it's also weird, because we know she wasn't happy and she got like one present on the table. I don't know how much money she got. We're going to listen to that one more time real quick. Hey, Mooning Werewolves. Thank you for being here. We're going to listen to that one more time, because she could be referencing she didn't take money with her when she ran away. So it is very possible that maybe she did take the money to Jen's house.
You know what I'm saying? But she's at the port.
Right.
This is the way that I think.
Yeah. Do you guys know anything she would have been upset about or anything?
No, Sunday she had a great birthday. She was happy.
Great birthday.
Like, she got a whole bunch of gifts. She had a lot of money. She didn't take any money with her.
Right.
Like, if she was like, trying to run away.
Yeah.
We were cleaning the backyard.
And then he goes into Saturday. Bestie said she only had one gift on the table and she was upset. But everybody else says she was happy. She got a lot of gifts and a lot of money. So that's suspicious to me. We do need to ask Grandma, believe. We sure do. You know, she got jewelry. She did get jewelry from Mrs. Stearns. And I think they referenced giving her something else. So that tells us there was more than one present. So maybe she did get a lot of gifts. And of course, you know, Bestie's going to think she's upset, but that doesn't necessarily mean she acted that way to her parents and her family, right? Like, she probably would have acted, even if she was upset, like she was happy to make them happy. So that kind of explains that, like all of them saying she was really happy, even though the bestie knew that she wasn't. The money thing, though, definitely did not say that it was left at grandma's. She just said, now that I'm listening to it closely, that she didn't take it when she ran away, is what it sounds like. So I'm going to write that down. We have checked that, and we can check that off. Lisa Lee said, they said Maddie got tons of gifts. When they asked Jen what gifts, Jen said, oh, it was mostly money. You're right. I remember hearing that. Yeah, you're right. I've heard that. Oh, I hope that y'all are all okay. I see y'all are talking about doctors and stuff. I hope that everybody's doing okay. Right, Sarah. Thank you. Bestie probably saw the real Maddie. Yep. So we'll keep going. I'm going to write that down real quick.
Yeah, right. I have a van that travel. It's right in front. To check that already.
Yeah.
We were working on that, doing little things in there.
Yeah.
And then she helped me with the front yard, cleaning up. She's like that with me. We'll do things. And then I took her to Burger King.
This is hard.
for a Whopper.
Mm-hmm.
I can't eat Whoppers.
Right.
I had a double Whopper. Fries. It's such a fun night.
It was great.
Do you remember who was there at the party tonight?
All our family. We have a big family here.
Friends from school, right?
She had 2 friends from school. They talked to them already.
So family, like, is you guys aunts, uncles,
cousins.
She gets along with everybody.
Yeah, and she had 2 friends at the party.
From school, right?
From school, and they were having.
Darla said the gifts appear to be on her dresser from the stream 10 minutes ago. Okay. I'll double check that. I wasn't paying attention, to be honest, to the pictures. I was listening and writing. So I'll definitely check that, Darla. And thank you for pointing that out. So if we go back in the stream, we can probably find the pictures of her gifts. But we don't know, because I saw like a heart, and I think it was from Valentine's Day. So I don't know for sure if they were from her birthday. But I do think I remember seeing what Mrs. Stearns references, giving her the jewelry that was like mermaid tears. So it probably is. Flora W said, but we got to remember this was not her actual birthday. Even her best friend had to remind her she had already gifted her at school. Yes, her birthday was the Thursday before, I believe. I believe they told me her actual birthday was the 22nd. And this was the Sunday after. Right after it shows the makeshift wall. Okay, right after we looked at her partition, evidently there was presents on her dresser. If you guys want to check that, I'll check it in a few minutes.
They were outside. They went to the park. They came back.
The party was here?
No, it was at my mom's house in Orlando.
Did she go with to the
No,
party?
I took her and I dropped her.
Yeah,
that's
so I
the
dropped
problem,
her off 8:30 that night. I told her, she takes supplements. I said, take your meds, take a shower. I left. And then 10:30 after work.
Oh, so she back here to meet her, or did she go to the party and meet her there?
No, here. She got out at like, I don't know, 10. She had to ask her, but she said she got here around 10:30.
She's a little disabled, like emotionally type of thing, but she can have a part-time with Disney and all that stuff. She finally got another job with them because they're giving the run around.
Okay, so the sister said she definitely dropped her off at about 8:30. And then he references Jennifer as being emotionally de-stressed, or whatever from time to time. Bad girl, I'm with you. And believe I'm with you too. Artemis said, does anyone remember Jen Soto said Christmas money went missing, but we found it? I also heard her say she replaced it. Yes, I remember hearing both those things. We need to double check that too. And we probably will be able to validate those as we continue going through the interviews of Jen. Buzzer, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate that. That was super sweet of you. Buzzard said, I've heard that neighbors claim to have seen multiple men or young men or teenage boys visiting the townhouse, especially around odd hours at night. I have the 2 interviews from the Canadian neighbors on my page, so we'll check those too. For sure. I don't know if I remember hearing that, so we'll definitely look in and see if we can validate that as well. Thank you for the $5. That was super sweet of you and so supportive. I haven't heard that either. We'll double check it. Thank you, Buzzard, for the $5. I appreciate that.
And we have to watch the baby, and she helps. Stefan is over to help her. She asked him to come and help her.
Right.
These few days because she was in training and all that stuff, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's tough.
And she says that there was some days that she was going to get out at 1 a.m. So
she always takes us to school.
I'm going to write something on the back of the business card because while you guys can reach out to me, I'm going to give you the lead detective's information.
Okay, please.
But like I said, if you guys think of anything, please let us know. Right now,
I wanted to see this real quick because this is weird to me. I want to see what it says. It says Friday at 5:57 looked like a 1990 Chevrolet Transmarie conversion van, white van with faded red stripes, beige curtains, and then it gives a phone number. So I'm wondering if maybe that's where, but this is where they sit, like Jen and Stefan sit and write stuff down. So that's weird. I don't know what that's all about. Buzzard said, yeah, I believe the last time I heard about it was from the Canadian neighbors, which goes with the theory that Maddie was unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, I've got 2 interviews from them, so we'll listen to them and see what we can figure out in that regard.
Said if you guys think of anything, please let us know. Right now we're just in the process of collecting as much information as we can.
And that was just the detectives' phone numbers and emails and things.
That's why we're here. We're working in other places as well.
Yes, that was my next question. Like, I know you guys have to cross everything off, and that's good. What about other possibilities?
Everything's being addressed. So everything that we can possibly address at this time. There's detectives all over the county and in other counties. I mean, this isn't actually even our county.
Somebody, I think it was Flora, said they didn't know there was locks on the door. Those are the locks that were on Stefan's door
right now. So we have multiple detectives and law enforcement officers in general, forensics investigators. We're just trying to collect as much information as we can. So by all means,
we understand. Yeah, we just want to be kept.
Yeah.
So I will say you might not be updated every single like 5-10 minutes, but there's a lot of effort. I was with Hunt yesterday, and we've been out since yesterday at I came out personally at 3 p.m. and we're still out doing everything. So
and the other thing is we have to communicate. We don't have the ability to call everybody else and give them updates. Yeah. So what I always tell people is, I know you may not hear from us, but literally the second we get updates and information, we will reach out to them. And then they can disseminate that information to you guys as they see fit. But unfortunately, we don't have the ability to call everybody and say, hey, this is what's going on, just because we can only speak. Okay.
Yeah, I just know sometimes I think about asking them, like,
it's redacted.
Questions, and you guys can reach out with questions. I'm just saying we will not be able to call you guys and give you updates. We can only speak to them. So yeah. But if she has a question that she thinks of, tell her not to hesitate to reach out to us, and we will answer.
So that's Stefan's boxers in the hamper in Maddie's room, because this is Maddie's bed right here. And from what I understand, people think that this is the blue dress that she was wearing. That's draped over there, the blue dress that we see in the pictures. Now, I can't validate that because I'm not there. I can't look at this blue article of clothing. However, what I can validate is there is boxers in the hamper that is in Maddie's room, because I can see that from the picture. Buzzard said if it goes with the ideas that Stefan was making money off the CP material, he was receiving a good amount of cash, but he's basically jobless during the past few months of Maddie's life. Lisa said if Jim was having a hard time and needed help because she got a job and was training, what was she going to do about help when she started working full time? Good question. I mean, and it just seems scratches on the hand if from Maddie believe it's more likely tire change does suggest he manually strangled her. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot my train of thought. Referencing Lisa Lee, when she started working full time, I would assume she's going to rely on Grandma and Juan, right? But like, why didn't she rely on them instead of calling Stefan that night? Especially when she hadn't relied on him in 3 months.
Answer when we're able to. There are
okay.
Guidelines.
There's a close up, and while that does look like Maddie's dress right here, I can't be certain. All I can be certain is those are the types of boxers he wears. They're definitely in her room, in her hamper.
When we can do certain things, so but we're with you guys, and we're gonna. Here today?
Okay, so I don't see anything yet on the dresser, just some chips and things.
Do everything that we can.
It depends how.
Okay, so yeah, I saw the heart box from the what looks like Valentine's Day, and there's some jewelry boxes. Something underneath. We'll see if we get an up-close picture of that, but that's all I see so far.
What you suggest that we could do next? Like yesterday we were out, like, passing the flag.
Okay, yeah, that's the jewelry that she got. She got several things of jewelry. So those definitely could be her birthday presents. I don't know how much jewelry she got. And then those look like the little like toy things. She could have got some of those. Vicky said when this first happened, I was giving Jen Soto the benefit of the doubt. I thought she was working and it was happening when she was going to work. I was wrong. Was I wrong? I've been giving Jen the benefit of the doubt too, but now, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to validate things that I kind of ran with and believed before. I'm trying to go back and validate it to see what we can figure out, like if she really is culpable in all of it, or just some of it, or none of it at all. Mary, thank you so much for the $5. That's super supportive of you. I really appreciate you doing that. Mary said, this is a great chat. We validate facts. We might have it solved before trial. Justice and hard work for Maddie. My family lost someone 5 hours ago. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to hear that. I will keep you in my prayers for sure. I'm so sorry. You guys, please say a prayer for Mary. She's going through some things. And thank you for the $5, honey. I really appreciate that. And I'm so sorry. Linda said Maddie's dress is on the bottom. It looks like it. I can't validate it, but it does appear that it's her dress.
Yeah. Wait, your...
It's redacted.
Family members, especially the ones that are closest with her, know, like, hey, the second you hear from.
Now, I can say I thought these earrings were the mermaid tears that Stefan's mom gave her, so that would make me assume that these are her birthday presents on her dresser.
Her, you need to let
she's
us know
she's with Steven.
Communicate that to detectives, because at the end of the day,
our
biggest concern is her safety, right? We don't care about anything else. We don't care. She could walk up to me right now and be like, I robbed a store, and I'd be like, okay.
Oh, my leg got a cramp. So they're zooming in on stains on Maddie's bed, just to be clear there. Those are stains, unfortunately, on Maddie's bed. And I mean, I don't know how anything's going on in that room without somebody noticing.
In the media, but
these books are in Maddie's room because that's her partition right there. So what they say are her thoughts and feelings.
Less fake information that gets out there, the better it is for us to be able to.
Okay. So these books are on Maddie's bed. I would presume them to be Maddie's. And it looks like her writing, because they are on her bed. Excuse me. It says, my fluctuating moods, anxieties, and trauma related symptoms affect my memory, concentration, focus, and energy levels. I also have secure trauma responses when I encounter all males. And again, let's back it up just so we can be sure. I mean, it looked like this is Maddie's room. I mean, this is Maddie's bed. It looks like they dumped some books on Maddie's bed, because right there's the hamper. This is the back side of the partition. So I would think that that's definitely Maddie's room. And what a awful thing.
The less fake information.
Again, my fluctuating moods, anxiety, and trauma-related symptoms affect my memory, concentration, focus, and energy levels. I also have secure trauma responses when I encounter all males.
The better it is for us.
Roxanne says that was Jen Soto writing to secure her disability. I mean, I would think, but they're on Maddie's bed. Why are they all dumped out on Maddie's bed like that? If they were Jen. I don't know. I mean, obviously I can't say for sure, but like, that's on Maddie's bed. I would think that like they took a box or something from Maddie's room and dumped it on Maddie's bed to see what they said. I don't know.
Us to be able to.
I'd rather do that.
They are. So,
okay.
I mean, you can see right there. Dang. Hold on. Like, it's dumped on Maddie's bed. I would think if they were Jen's, they would be dumped on Jen's bed. But obviously, I can't, validate that for sure. But those notebooks are all right there on her bed. People are saying it's Jen. I heard it was Jen too, but now I'm questioning seeing them in her room, on her bed.
I know you guys did like a search yesterday. What can we do, like a search? Like,
so it's best. It's best that you don't right now, because we are continuing our search and we don't.
Somebody said, "Why are they wide open like that?" If you remember, we just saw a sheet on the bed. So this is them going through her stuff. Like, evidently they've taken the sheet off for evidence and they're going through books and things or whatever, boxes, I don't know, something in her room. They dumped them out to read them. Linda says that's from a book on mental health issues. People are saying no child writes like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's odd to me though that it's in her room and on her bed. I don't know. We'll find out at trial.
I'm not saying you can't drive around to her favorite places and look if there's anything you think of like that, yes. But as far as like, I don't know, walking through woods or something like that, I would tell you not to do that because we are doing that and we don't want anything to really be like contaminated or anything like that. But by all means, if, like I said, if you guys think of something that you think should be looked into.
Overprotected, thank you for the $4.99. I really appreciate that. You guys are being so supportive. I really appreciate that. Overprotected said, love all y'all. AS in chat. Yes, we really pray. Oh my goodness. Yes, we will all pray for each other. Yes, that's all we can ask. Always keep everybody in your prayers.
Let us know, and then we will prioritize based on the information that we get and see what's best for us to do next.
All right, good.
But no, you don't have to stop looking.
I don't think she ran away. Like, I don't think she would have said that.
That 8-hour differential just kills me.
Yeah. And speak to the school. And do you guys have? Are there other juvenile kids in school within your family?
My daughter, but they go to separate schools.
Yeah, and that's something that Jen may need to speak to the school and just be like, hey, in the future, I need notification.
I hope they're communicating to the other families too.
The school.
Yeah, because hey, listen, this happened here. You got to be aware of what's happening around the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think the information is getting out. I mean, we've gotten contact that the information is spreading. So, okay, and we want that, right? We want as much help as we can get, but we don't want fake information out there, right?
And that the overpass.
Mm-hmm. We got like 30 seconds left of this. Mary said, I think Maddie subconsciously was a trigger from being abused in her sleep and given substances during the night. I definitely think it's a possibility. We won't know until trial, but it's a possible speculation. Teresa said maybe Jen was in the application process for Maddie's disability, Social Security, and she wrote out what she wanted Maddie to say. That's definitely a possibility. Absolutely. That would explain why there's such adult writings in Maddie's room on her bed. That would explain it. Yeah. Potsy, thank you for being here. Says I'm behind, but her daughter is missing and she emails teachers rather than running into the office and demanding they check attendance and call every teacher. I mean, good point. I think I would probably do that. Absolutely. Okay.
In there, okay. Traffic in the morning with the kids and parents. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying.
We're looking into all of that. Yep. We're doing everything that we can for you guys, and we'll be here with you guys the whole time, okay?
We appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. We're going to get back to it, and if you guys have anything, then please reach out, okay?
We're only 5 minutes away.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
He's so worried and concerned about her. Like, it's so sad. Because he's like, making sure to say, we're only 5 minutes away. Please update us. Tell us if you have anything. Give us updates. All of that. It's really sad to think about what Juan's going through as well. All right. I appreciate all of you being here with me. You guys make my day perfect. I've said it every day and I'll say it again. I could sit here and talk to myself all day, but you guys are what makes this channel great. If it wasn't for you guys, again, I'd be just talking to myself. Roxanne said, Jen would have already been getting a child's benefit from Maddie with her disability. That was just Jen Soto's prior writing preparing for her own case. Possible. Jen said, thank you everybody for being here today. And I want to thank you too. Because again, without you guys, this channel, I'd be talking to myself. It wouldn't be a place where we can all come and talk and share our differing and thoughts, opinions, and speculation with openness and willing to see things from everybody's point of view. Carrie B said, I wonder if there was some shift at 13, like federal benefits. I don't know. Jim was often scheming, in my opinion. It's possible, something to look into. Mooning Werewolves said, my mom gave me Ambience and Benadryl as well as her pain meds from birth in order to keep me quiet from reaching out. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Hydroxyzine is a lot like a stronger Benadryl. It is. I've taken it before. LZ said, if the state are going for death penalty, there has to be a penalty trial to decide the sentence whether he admits guilt or not. Yeah, I do. As far as I know, that's how that works. Jen said she was a sub and no one has confirmed that being true. Well, the teachers say that she was a sub. Okay, the teachers referenced Jen being a sub and they talked to her then, but didn't talk to her much as far as Maddie goes. Oh, Kalisa, thank you for being here. No, SSI is only for the person. There's no benefits for children of disabled. I think that some children, depending on the severity of disability, people do get disability checks from the state for a child being disabled, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be. Yeah. All right, keep everybody in your prayers. Thank you all for being here. I will definitely be back tomorrow. We'll continue validating our theories and see what we can figure out Jen Soto knew, what she continues to admit. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have the best night ever. And I can't wait until tomorrow when I see you all again. Bye.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should